6 p.m.
Nice.
Because DJ Wheat and Apollo and I talked all night about
Nice.
the girls.
We're live, by the way, so.
Yes. Very nice.
Hope Dan makes a show. He was like, no earlier than 10 a.m.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, he's got a tough life of casting a couple times a week and
I know.
sitting around and not playing Starcraft.
It's funny when he actually does play, because he just bitches at me.
Yeah.
Or bitches about the game. Which is kind of actually true for a lot of people.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Oh, there he is. Hello, Daniel.
Hello. Hello, JP McDaniels.
Oh, look at you. You have photos set up in your apartment.
Yeah, man.
Family man.
Those are not pictures of my family, man. Those are Starcraft drawings. So I guess they are pictures of my family.
Yeah. We're
So
live,
great.
by the way, on air, just prefacing that. So don't talk about how much you hate your family, Dan. How much you want to leave. Just don't say that. Don't bring it up on air.
I'm having hummus for breakfast. Hummus for breakfast!
God damn
Yeah.
it, Dan.
It's so good. It's like pizza for breakfast. You ever see that commercial?
Yeah. Is that a bagel
Really
Bites
weirded out.
commercial?
Really weirded out by how good this boy band is, and they're from New Zealand. Is that racist of me, or
I don't think so.
should people be this proficient
Dude,
in
New
computer
Zealand.
stuff? In
New Zealand is the new Sweden, man.
Is it really?
Totally. Not for StarCraft skill, but
Passion, maybe?
it's like the place for happiness and niceness and health and shit like that.
Of course, we gotta wait on Tyler before I can bring you up on webcam. I guess I could
Where's-
just do this.
Where's Jeff's webcam? What's going on?
He's not.
in
He doesn't
Sweden,
have
man.
one. He's in Sweden.
Huh?
I'm in Sweden.
Oh, shit, that's right. I watch so much DreamHack.
Hey, good. We can finally talk about the tournament then.
I have watched, like, 45 hours of DreamHack in the last 4 days. It's been, like, the only thing I have done.
Did you watch as much as I casted?
No, oh, no. Listen, I've casted DreamHack. I know what that shit's all about, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Fucking-
It was
you're
like
a
literally
fucking-
45 hours.
You're a warrior, Jeff Mitchell.
No. We'll
And
talk more
here's
about
the
this on
other
the
part.
show, but
Here's the other part. You cast with Caldor. So you
that's what I was
probably
about to
casted
say.
even more, because
Yeah.
that fucking guy doesn't turn off.
It's like when there was time to take a break, he's like, okay, let's jump into game number 3 for this group over here. And I'm like, yeah, let's do that, because I ate like 10 hours ago, so I should be still okay to go.
He actually does more than everyone else in esports. You know what it is?
Yeah, he does.
In like supreme health,
Yeah, man.
and he's got like
Well,
6
it's
passions.
the Germanness.
Like
It's also the
Germanness.
Germanness.
he's
Yeah.
in so much health that he doesn't get tired, man. Me, I cast fucking 3 best of 3s, man. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
Well, that could be also because you don't eat meat. It's like the lack of
Nah,
protein.
good, too.
That's true.
No.
You
I
get all
mean,
this meat.
right now, man, I'm getting my morning protein. That's what I'm doing.
Those are potato chips, Dan.
No. Actually, these are like, I don't know, whole corn chips or whatever the fuck they are. But
I still
I
can't
wish
imagine
that-
a lot of protein in there.
hummus, man. But
Does hummus have protein?
yeah, man, there's a lot of protein.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Hummus is pretty good for you.
It doesn't
This
have
hummus
to be
is-
meat to have protein, Jeff.
No, I knew that. Sure, Dan. Dan eats a lot of beans every day.
I eat eggs for breakfast every day. And I eat a lot of
Holy
vegetables.
JP, you have a Team Dignitas poster? You fucking traitor. What is that?
Yeah, I don't have an EG poster, man.
We don't have an EG poster.
Yeah.
I told him we need one. A lot of people would buy one.
I turn my webcam on for you guys.
Dude. I'm so bored of that machine commercial.
Yeah.
Pretending to play
Okay.
Starcraft in the background. Oh my god,
That
kill
was
me.
pretty
Yeah.
bad.
Here's the thing. We did 2 commercials for Sapphire. One is actually the funniest commercial we've ever done. Ever done. It's way more funny than all of them. And then there's that one, which is not even a micro dick funny. Like, it's just not even, there's nothing there.
Do you mean like the dog one or whatever?
Yeah, but don't spoil it like you just kind of did. You gotta...
Dude,
Oh, sorry.
it's like
I don't know
not-
what that is.
that Thorzane commercial that you guys did, like when he was coming out,
Yeah,
that was funny, man. I was sitting there laughing the whole time. That was so good.
it was. That was a fun... Thorzane's an easy subject, though. He's like so straight-faced and like serious and innocent-looking, but still with a sense of humor that any joke about him is just automatically funny because of what an outlandish character he is.
Jeff, when I Google your name, try to find a picture of you, this comes up.
Uh-oh.
I don't understand.
Oh, you Skyped it. Let me see.
Oh my god. Jeff,
What the fuck?
do you still have that? Do you still have that picture? Remember that picture we found in Brood War of you? That's not actually you, but it's you, and you're wearing like a fuzzy sweater in the backyard.
Yeah. G5 found that, yeah.
That's so funny.
That was weird because actually I thought he photoshopped my face on somebody else when I saw that.
I actually
Yeah.
thought that was you for a long time. That
I
really-
know. Well, imagine, Greg, how weird it would be for you to think that that's you, and then you
Yeah.
find out it's not. That's weird. That was
You know,
weird.
Oh
there's-
yeah, this is an EG bias show.
There's an evil IdrA that shows up. Well, I guess he would be the good IdrA and you'd be the evil IdrA, but there's a guy that looks just like you and wears an EG shirt that shows up to events, man. I've met him
Nurse
twice.
Joe?
Yeah, Nurshio does kind of look like me, actually.
Yeah.
But no, I've met one. I don't know if it's the same one. There might be multiples.
Oh, that's
You know-
right. Came to that event. That was weird. Greg
Yeah.
was like all weirded out by the fact because he's like, "Hey, I look a lot like you," and Greg just kind of sat there silently because he did. And he didn't know what to say. Like,
Yeah, man. Well, what do you say?
Took a picture with him. Yeah.
Are you supposed to kill them, or are you supposed to say hi? I don't even know,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, we took a picture together. Apparently, that's.
I think it is Highlander though. To Dan's point, Greg, I think you were supposed to actually kill him and like.
It could be.
Shit. Well, he still goes to events, so I'll
Here's the
get
thing. Maybe he's
that guy
supposed
better
to...
fucking watch out.
Next event, you just like you're pulling your keyboard out of your bag. You see him, and then you just silently pull a sword out of your bag too. Just go
I
chop
see,
him.
him in the audience while I'm up on stage. I just crouch out and leap at him.
You type out PP, and they're like, "What? What's this?"
Come man. Those SteelSeries keyboards are so heavy, you just hits him in the head with that. And symbolically, the G key pops out and goes in the audience.
No, all the keys pop out. Yeah.
No, there was one that was famous. What was the one that Trimaster gave back to you or whatever?
F4.
F4.
Oh, that's pretty.
Oh.
That's pretty awesome. That it was F4.
Oh, F4, man. I remember pressing that shit a lot in StarCraft 1.
Jeff, are you okay with that picture?
Yeah, it's fine. I just need Dan. You got to be our banner today. Like you got to make sure and be on top of that.
You look pretty badass in that picture, Jeff.
I stretched
Very
it though, so
serious.
he looks less badass.
Why so serious?
Did you see the trailer for that new Dark Knight movie?
Yeah, it looks
Oh
sick
my
as
God,
fuck,
yeah.
man.
God, it comes out in
Amazing.
like 2-3 weeks.
Why do they make such good movies for Batman? Oh my.
Why are they saying they're gonna stop after that too?
Yeah. Well, I
Make it-
mean,
It was supposed to be a trilogy, so it was a trilogy.
It's Batman.
Make it a
Fucking
quite-
for Batman.
Make 13 of those things. As long as Christian Bale looks relatively like Batman, fucking keep doing it.
yeah.
He always will too, man.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
not gonna age.
Yeah, that movie looks sick as fuck.
Not
Does
on
that
money,
really come out in
not-
3 weeks?
Yeah, I think it's July 12th.
Oh man.
Find his doppelganger and have his brain put in the body. He's so rich, man.
What the fuck? Who is this guy? Greg?
Dude, Greg, whenever you don't want to
That's
do an
the
appearance, yeah, that guy can step in. fan meetings, autographs and stuff. Boom.
That is
Double.
creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? It's good Greg and evil Greg.
Oh, you found it. Oh my god, that's so weird.
God, that's weird. Holy
Chatley.
shit.
He needs to learn how to half smile too, and then he can be just like you.
The
It's
expression-
weird. It's weird that you're both balding too.
I
That's
actually have
weird.
more hair than him. I'm very proud of that. I have a little bit more hair.
It's like the burden of being Greg takes a toll on the body, and
It does. I live a stressful life.
it's exhilarating.
It's hard to look like me.
You
They
should
do a
print
documentary
that
on
picture out and bring it next time you visit your mom and be like, "Tell me the truth," and you hold it in your face.
Isaac, pull your mic a little bit back.
Oh, sorry.
By the way, Dan, just for clarification, when Tyler gets here and we start the show, you need to stop eating chips like a goddamn platypus. Like,
I just finished the rest of my hummus, man.
all right, that's good.
I've been working on this bowl of hummus for days. It was going to go bad. I had to do it.
I don't blame you.
I'll be back.
Can hummus actually go bad? I think we had this conversation.
I don't actually know what's in hummus.
Yeah, I feel like hummus is actually just what happens when something does go bad, and then they tell hippies that it's okay for you.
Let's see.
And
Let's
it
see
has
what's in it.
protein in it.
So it's made from cooked mashed chickpeas blended with tahini, olive oil, lemon juice, salt, and garlic.
Chickpeas? That's the only word I actually got
Yeah,
out of
like, what the fuck
What is tahini?
came up with that? Who started mashing shit together and was like, this will be called hummus?
Jeff, are you gonna play DayZ when you get back, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing, I'll play. I'm not gonna. I don't think I'll boot it by myself or something like that.
Yeah. Me and Destin
What
have
is
been
that?
playing a lot, man. It's actually quite
Well,
fun.
that's cute.
Yep. Anytime the server message says no racism, I make sure to let them know.
Jesus, that's so
What's
awesome.
Daisy?
It's like this zombie mod for Arma 2. It's like
Oh, okay.
What is Arma, by the way? Who the fuck? Like, they're
Arma's
like,
like
oh
a
yeah, Arma.
realistic war fighting game.
Is it called Arma or is that an acronym?
It's Arma, but that's the acronym. Let me see what it stands for.
That's what's blowing me away. I looked it up and everyone was calling it Arma. Like even the fucking website
it's like-
for the game called it Arma. It was like,
It's just like a zombie FPS or something, basically.
yeah.
Like Left 4 Dead or something.
Oh, it's actually so cool. Like,
Yeah.
I
The
might
part
actually
about it
put
that makes it
video
cool
game.
for everyone is that it's continuous and
Yeah.
all you do is like survive and kill other people.
Yep. It's sick. I don't know what it stands for.
Oh,
though.
like it's like the same character or whatever every time you play?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like if you
Oh, that's
hop
kinda cool.
servers, it saves your location on the island and shit.
If you die, you have to start over.
Yeah.
You should be able to become a zombie in that.
Can you kill your teammates and just...
You don't have teammates. Everyone's free
Oh,
for
okay.
all. So you could just like walk up on someone and either be their friend or just kill them.
No.
You know what's mildly impressive is that someone actually beat on hardcore Diablo 3 on Inferno. They killed Diablo.
Yeah, I watched that last night, man. There's like 50,000 people watching that guy.
That guy better have been like, hey, just a second, I gotta use the bathroom. He's just actually spamming commercials for like fucking 25
No,
minutes.
that's the same, dude. That's so funny. I think all streamers think like that because Steven was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
man, if I was that guy, he kept doing practice runs on like his softcore character. He's like, man, if I was that guy, I'd just do that shit for hours and just constantly run commercials.
Yeah. It's brilliant. I'm actually gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pull up the YouTube of him doing that, announce that I'm doing it, stretch it across my screen, and play a video of me, quote unquote, beating it on Inferno, but it'll be like, I'll actually slow it down 3 or 4 times as well, and people are like, this just feels weird. It's like, yeah, I know, it's weird, it's laggy as shit, but oh well, I guess I'll just try to overcome it, and
Nice. Yeah, the best part, I think it was kind of a dick move, but the community manager of Blizzard tweeted right afterwards, and he said, like, just because you have a webcam doesn't mean it's world first. So, like, they're basically saying it wasn't the world first kill, but it was the first one
Alright.
streamed or something.
I'm ready.
oh god.
And it's like, why would you guys say, why not just fucking post who actually killed and they're not
Yeah.
saying anything? It's like,
Either you
oh.
announce it and give
The
credit to
reason
someone,
they
or you
did
don't
that, man, that probably the guy that did it or his friend in Blizzard are the first ones that did it. But they
No, it was
probably
probably,
did it.
dude, it was probably someone from Asia somewhere. Like, let's be honest here.
Oh, that's right. Like on the third
someone
day.
in chat
too.
just said they confirmed it was world first later in a tweet.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's even bigger dick move to to say that and then be wrong.
Oh,
Yeah, that is-
I didn't actually know.
So they're just just
Yeah,
ask.
just
So
fuck
there's
you.
actually no reason.
I
Yeah.
hope the tweet was. I hope the tweet was reluctant too. He was like, "Well, I guess he did fucking do it first, but whatever, not that big of a deal."
Wait,
Like,
how many people do we have on the show?
5?
6?
Oh, 6.
I'm gonna go with 3.5.
Men?
This is a half.
I don't know.
If only we had Huck on here, that'd be an
Yeah,
easy joke.
he'd be the half.
Easy joke.
Why is this looking like it's not gonna work? Oh, fuck, this is only a 5.
Oh my god.
Fucking idiot, dude.
I'm like sitting here, is he trolling us?
I'm so fucking tired and out of it. Do I even have a 6 shot of this?
Me and Jeff can share one of the spots. I
Yeah,
kind of
that's
miss
fine.
this is off in Sweden.
Exactly. I'm okay with cuddling.
And bring us together.
Just put me in the middle.
I cuddle.
Overstay the game.
Dan,
is-
see this
this
guy?
is my choice of
Matt
Mars.
Stamp
Never
3, he
got
said
this.
just get rid of InControl. That means you ban him. You just get rid of him.
Oh, you're not gonna have ban this game, or ban this time.
I
You're
know.
gonna have
I'm
him.
gonna target through Dan. I'm gonna sick Dan on him. I could see Dan already hunting him down, actually. That's how fucking dedicated this guy is.
Who would I hunt down?
I already forgot his name. It's okay. He''ll show up again later. He can't miss out on an opportunity to get some attention.
What? I'm sorry, I was reading like tweets. I can't things at once, guys.
Ask a
Bitch.
question and then ignore the answer.
He didn't ignore it, he just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I was. What was it? Say it again. You mean the short answer.
Just look
Oh,
for my
you're
name in
getting
the
so
stream
old,
chat. Dan, most of the people that mention it, that's usually the way it works.
That's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah.
I have like 5 accounts in that stream chat right now making fun of you in control.
We'll ban him.
God, where the fuck is this? There we go.
Oh, I've got 8mm spikes in there. He'll defend me. I know he'll protect me from the internet.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So in Sweden, you can drive like 140 miles per hour and nobody really cares. It's kind of cool.
Is that what you did?
Well, I rode in a car that did. And
Well, the thing is, they wouldn't even know if you're driving 100 miles per hour because
well, I did the math.
they
You
already
know,
drive
like
100 kilometers
210
per hour like a
kilometers
speed
per hour.
limit everywhere anyways, man. Jesus. Bit of brain in control.
Sweden's also fucking beautiful, by the way. Holy shit.
What?
It's a really beautiful country. Really beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Were there lots of booth babes at DreamHack?
No, I'll save all my stories for when you guys ask, but DreamHack is actually this weird place in time and world where weird things happen. I've got all kinds of
One of those
stories.
weird things is girls not existing.
Yeah.
No, they do
no-
exist. They
That-
just don't exceed the age of 16.
Oh yeah, I
What
remember
the
that.
fuck?
Yeah.
Oh.
Part of the problem
Did you
is that
did you meet
in
the
Sweden,
did you meet the two
Sweden,
girls
that's
that
like, okay.
wear the like dinosaur
Dan,
costumes?
put on your headset. What the fuck? Are you doing
Oh,
a show
dude.
without a headset?
You guys can listen to this terrible feedback. I'm just gonna be happy. Let my ears get some air.
Alright, so that means, JP, just go ahead and mute him until he...
Are you seriously putting on headset or no?
Just, like, let my ears get some air.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Who does
Quit being
that?
such an airhead, Dan.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
Alright, you selfish guys. Here I am with my headset. But anyways, I got this at DreamHack last year. There's these two girls that came and drew that of me. I'm a mushroom in this picture.
fuck? That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Apparently they go to DreamHack a lot. I guess they just live in that area or something.
Okay.
Is that not a
That's
sick picture right there? I'm a
That's a good
total mushroom.
Is that like a reference to that thing I made fun of you about, or is that...
I think
No,
so.
that was the moss on the tree. That's really
Yeah.
separate.
Okay.
Well, you know, moss is a fungus like a mushroom, right?
I think at some point or another I probably have called you a mushroom, though, is what I'm saying. I think
You probably have, man.
Alright.
I got to, I watched the Dota 2 finals at DreamHack.
Alright, here's final thought. Go on, Jeff. This is the last thing I
Turns
say for the
out,
show.
a best of three.
What's the thing?
Best of three MOBA takes about 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
So 25 minutes of it and slept the next 3 hours.
Yeah,
How could
I
you
saw
sleep?
Keldar's tweet of you like
Yeah.
Jeff loves Dota 2 or whatever, and it's you just asleep at the finals.
How could you sleep with Toby's casting, man? He's so loud. He's like loud. I can't even compare him to anyone in the Starcraft.
He had a
world.
microphone, JP.
Do what?
He had a microphone.
It's funny though because it kept. If you watch the VOD, there's a few times where they span the audience, and it actually shows me pass the fuck out in the back. They kept showing it. You'd think their producers would be a little bit smarter.
All right,
Man, Greg, your cam is so bad. Don't you have the same
Oh my
one as-
god.
No, it's
Sometimes it randomly goes bad. I don't know why.
Dude, hold on, I want to say something before we start. Sir Scoots just made a tweet about United, some United employees being really rude. Thank you, Sir Scoots, for bringing this to the forefront. Fucking, I swear to God, man. I booked some flights to them, frequent flyer. Worst. It
Really?
got canceled like 4 times, man. It was terrible. Oh, God. Rude, terrible service.
I still have to set up my frequent flyer miles because if you don't, they treat you like you're like a slave or something like that. Like, you
Oh, yeah.
fucking idiot. You bought a ticket with us?
You gotta show them your card that's like platinum and shit because you fly around the world non-stop.
Yeah.
What's the link for the stream?
Twitch.tv/itmeJP.
Ghost You Trolling, well, Cody's girlfriend just tweeted about how she got an email from a Nigerian prince. I'm actually in the middle of a conversation with someone who's trying to solicit me for the same situation. We could do it now, or we could do it another episode, but I'd love to read that conversation because it's really good. It's going to be my book.
You want to
Write
start
a
the
book.
show off with it?
Sure. Let me see if I can find it.
Okay. We'll wait.
This is good stuff.
You know, he's gonna read it and he's gonna be like, "Oh my God, Jeff, that actually is the Prince of Nigeria." You're messing up. You need to help him.
Directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
That's the twist at the end. Stanley really needed $5,000.
And he actually would have given you millions of dollars, Jeff. You fucked up, man.
I'm okay with that.
It's like Machine's so nice he sends them.
I want to earn my millions of dollars. I don't want to just get it handed to me.
To America, bro.
Did you find it yet, Jeff?
1 second.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good picture, Jeff.
Yeah, looks good. Very serious.
Just greeted me. I just opened Facebook and it's a picture of Barristan sleeping with Anna resting her feet on him. I'm hoping for Barristan to get slightly better treatment than that, but like while I'm gone. Alright, okay. Messages. If you say Jesus backwards, it sounds like sausage.
I love that picture.
It's so good. Alright, yeah, I've got the conversation.
You got it?
Yep.
Alright. Let's go live. I'm bringing you all down.
Why would you do that, JP?
I don't know. I'm fucked up, man. I'll see you in I'll talk to you in a sec.
In control against Artosis debate, and keep going back and forth. That'll be easy.
All field stabilized. Return of the heat.
I saw that he was dragged out by bouncers at 11 p.m., but I did
Hold
not know
on.
he was rested.
I just woke up. I haven't checked Starcraft Reddit. Guys, you can't start the show yet. Let me go through Starcraft Reddit.
The
It's
show...
not there.
Nope. Dan, you can go look. The show started. It's Tuesday, June 19th,
No,
2012. This is State of the Game, even though Dan doesn't want it to happen. And let me introduce everyone. We got Artosis, Tyler, Azael, aka Isaac, IdrA, and InControl plus Tyler. I don't know why plus Tyler, but I'm just going to say that. What happened with Stefano, by the way? Why was he kicked out of that or why was he carried out by bouncers?
Here's the thing. Weird? Sweden, as they are all descendants of Vikings, before the government regulated alcohol heavily, they just got too drunk, I guess.
Yeah.
And I guess Sweden had a real problem with everyone just getting too drunk all the time. Some kind of pursuit of Valhalla or something like that. But as it is now, it's actually a pretty big deal that if you get too drunk, you will be removed from a place. And what they do is they arrest you because you're a danger to yourself and to other people. And they just hold you in the drunk tank until 7 a.m. the next day. So Stefano, who got demolished by Mana, PVZ, decided to immediately leave, go to the players' party, got absolutely shit-faced, and then he vomited on all the couches, which is like, in a club... Oh, yeah. In a club, I think the only place you probably... I mean, like, the worst place you could vomit. Like, there's the dance floor, that would suck. The bar, that would suck. The table, that would suck. But all those could be cleaned real easily. The only place where vomit would, like, get into the grain of the fucking stuff and, like, really ruin it for everyone is the couch. So Stefano goes like full fucking exorcist on this place and just vomits everywhere. And they threw his ass out like he was yesterday's trash, and he got arrested and had a great night in the drunk tank.
Nice. That kid, man. You know,
you want me to read my story now?
Yeah. Can you preface this? I guess if people didn't watch the pre-show, Jeff, I guess tell people what you're about to read.
Okay, so every once in a while, there's this scam that goes around where they message you or they have a large sum of money and they need some money from you to then transfer it. They need your information, and they usually ask for, you know, a couple $1,000s because that's what it takes to get like $100 million sent to you, just for future reference. So this guy, and I don't know if, I think this is real, like sometimes, here's the other weird part about this. A guy prank phone called me like 3 years ago pretending to be like calling the wrong number for a girlfriend or something. And I was streaming, so I thought it'd be funny to dick around with him. But then it became obvious that he was watching my stream, and he was actually like reverse trolling me. And for the next 3 years, every 6 months he thinks I forget about him, so he tries like another angle. And it was like really funny at the time, and then it was like, oh shit, this is kind of like a weird fan. So then I like stopped. But then like for the next 3 years, he'll send me messages like, I can't believe she died. She was the only one for me. And then I would just like block the number again, and just like, come on, stop it. Anyways, this guy sends me the following message. It's on my Facebook fan page. Don Moore. It says, "Beloved one, I am writing to you with tears and sorrows in my heart. I am deeply crying out to you for help that has to do with my life and future. I am Don Marie, 18 years old boy from Ghana. I am a medical student undergraduate of the University of Ghana and the only child of late Mr. and Mrs. Stephen Moore. My father was a politician, also very wealthy, cocoa merchant based in Accra, the economic capital of Ghana, before he was poisoned to death by his business partners. I have only enjoyed fatherly love because of the death of my mother when I was 2 years. Before my father gave up to death on the 9th of November 2011, he called me on his bedside in the hospital and told me many things, including a sum of money he deposited in a fixed deposit account at the bank here in Ghana. He told me that he used my name as the only child for the next of kin in deposit for the fund." My favorite part about this, by the way, is that it bleeds in and out of like terrible English into like really fucking good English. "Presently, I have the documents with me. I am writing to you from an orphanage rescue home here in Ghana. I ran to this orphanage home in other to save my life from my wicked uncles, who I have overheard planning to take away all my inheritance. I humbly need your assistance to serve as my guardian, help get this money transferred to your account for investment and my education. You will also make an arrangement for me to come over to your country after the fund is transferred. Please, my dearest, my life depends on your help. I am willing to offer you 25% of the total sum as compensation for your effort and 5% for any input after the successful transfer of this fund to your nominated account overseas. Yours sincerely, Don Moore." So I promptly replied, "Oh no, hang on." Yeah, this is a whole story, or JP. So here's my reply. "Dear precious child of sanctity and love, how much is 25%? I can make the arrangements as soon as possible. I am the son of a very wealthy day trader who had a movie based on them that was a major motion picture internationally released. I literally have so much money I couldn't spend it if I wanted to. Saving a wealthy child from Ghana has been my lifelong dream of mine. Once I know how much 25% is, I'd love to discuss the rescue, bank transfer, and what method of travel you prefer. Hope to see you soon. Me." Then he wrote back, and I apologize for how long this is, but I promise you the last one's really good. He said, "Firstly, I must thank you so much for your mail. Am aware it is very strange to ask someone you don't know or met before for such assistance, but circumstances made me do this. I contacted you to assist me to get the money and my late father deposited with the Bank of Africa, transferred into your account in your country, the total sum of $5,500,000,000, and he wrote it out too. Deposited by my late father. Everything I told you about the money is real and legal. This is my inheritance, and I have the deposit documents with me, but the fact that I am not 25 years, which my late father stated in agreement with the bank." Let me actually... He just goes on and on for fucking ever. And the last one is him saying, with due respect, he's like asking for my full name, residential address, phone number, age, bank account number, yada, yada, yada. Then he gives a phone number. "Thanks, and God bless you, sincerely, Don." So I wrote back, and he didn't respond to this one. "Hello, wondrous child of Christ God and the King of Sub-Sandwiches. I appreciate you entrusting me with this large sum of money that would otherwise make up the gross value of half the continent of Africa. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that I am the correct person for this. My family has made a good living off of funding and raising militant forces to be hired by governments that otherwise could not have the manpower to overtake a small community or to eliminate neighboring populations. As you can imagine, I have a lot of business in Africa. Be that as it is, I can make this really simple. Please give me your current address, your full name, and maybe a cell number. From there we can find you. Once my agents make themselves known to you, simply escort them to the bank and they will make the extraction clean and simple. Once we have secured the funds, we can help ship it back to the States and the goods here, as it will be under armed guard. I thank today for each waking moment. I have nothing, and I hope nothing is spared when God welcomes you to heaven. Speak soon." He didn't reply to that one. It was fun.
I can't believe you even respond to those guys.
Just this one
I
time.
can't believe you don't want to help someone in an orphanage, dude. That's really...
All right. Well, let's see. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Didn't do a show last week, so we got DreamHack, the GESL, which happened over the past weekend, MLG Anaheim, the Summer Championships. There was some drama about that. That's actually been kind of rectified. Codas, Heart of the Swarm, and that should cover it. So, start off with DreamHack, the most recent stuff. We had Mono winning it yesterday. Kind of weird to have a finals on a Monday, but I guess it worked out. Wasn't the worst thing in the world. But Jeff, we'll throw to you first. What was your DreamHack experience like?
Jesus. I just got done talking for like half an hour. You're going to ask me that. Okay.
Yeah, I got to.
It was absolutely awesome. Sweden has, in my opinion, this is weird to say, but I really do believe it, the best esports audience in the world. And they laugh at every joke. They clap for everyone. They chant players' names. Like I introduced Demaga, and there was like a booming. Everyone's chanting his name, and I was like, wow, there's a lot of Demaga fans here. But then Mana gets introduced, and it's like almost as loud, if not louder. I was like, wow, there's just fucking Starcraft fans here. And they were really cool. The DreamHack itself is absolutely ridiculous. It's actually like, when they call it a festival, it's actually a festival. There's 20,000 people simultaneously attending a concert, a LAN, an orgy.
Concerts?
Yeah, they have musical concerts there. They have orgies there. They have like, there's food trucks parked
Only
inside.
in WoW, but yeah.
It's just the most absolutely ridiculous, crazy place ever. And I have so many stories about like the difference between American fans and European fans. It's really, really funny. Like I was talking to them about this. Caldor and I casted at the Logitech booth, which we had our backs to an open audience, like walking back and forth between like different stages and stuff. So I would be casting, and it's too bad I don't have a webcam on because I can only do this justice with my face. But I'd be casting, and I'd be like, you know, the stalkers are going to approach in here. They need to focus down the siege tanks, and I'd feel a fucking tap on my shoulder, and I'd turn around, and it's a fan, and he's just like looking at me, and I'm casting, and I like stop, and Caldor picks it up, and then like I'll move my headset thinking he's about to tell me the place is on fire or something. He's like, who are you guys casting right now? And I'm like, holy Christ! Like, I'm casting to like 30,000 people, and there's like people in front of us. I'm all mic'd up, so I can't say anything. So I just kind of, I give him those eyes you give someone when like you want them to feel really ashamed of themselves and really awkward. You know what I mean? Like you're just like, what you're doing right now is really stupid. It's really, really stupid. So I just stopped, But that's actually not the worst of it. One of the worst ones was I was sitting there
You
after
said the
15...
fans were good. What the fuck?
No, they are good. It's just the festival itself. And this did not ruin the experience. It was just kind of... It actually ended up being just funny. I didn't really get really mad, but it was weird at the time because I get stressed out when I'm commentating like that. But one time, I was getting ready to commentate. We casted until, I think, 3 a.m. the night before. Then we had to wake up and cast at 10 a.m. the next day. And I'm sitting there, like, just barely checking my Twitter and emails before we're getting ready to go. And I feel what feels like a guy opening and shutting a door, and like that gust of wind is hitting me over and over again.
Yeah.
But it's like really focused, and it's the size of a basketball, and it's hitting me. And it was the weirdest sensation. It was blasting me in the face. I look up. There's these two fans standing 45 feet away, and they have this giant, like a mixture of paper and plastic gun that you pull a string and you let it go, and it shoots a gust of air across the room. And he was just blasting me in the head with this over and over again. And it was the weirdest thing in the world, because this wasn't a kid. This was not a 16-year-old. This was like a 35-year-old man. And he didn't even have a bemused look on his face. It was just like something he was fucking doing there at that moment in time. And he hit me, and I looked at him, and we like made eye contact, and he just kind of dropped his arms and just kept staring at me. And I went back to work, and then he hit me again, and I looked at him, and he just like stopped and walked off. And it sucked, because in my head I told myself that the third time he did that I was going to walk over there unassumingly and be like, hey, could I see that? And then I was going to rip it up in front of him and throw it on the fucking ground. Didn't get the chance to. But, I mean, despite these stories, these are just more like funny interactions. The rest of it is just like really good, cool, interesting fans. Dan will tell you, as a guy who's commentated DreamHack as well, it's like a marathon. It's not something that I'm upset about at all. It's actually kind of like, it feels like almost an achievement. Like when you're done, you're like,
it's like a rite of passage for casters. Man.
Yeah. I just cast for 45 hours in 3 days. Like, it was, whoa. But yeah, I mean, outside of that, all I could say is it was super, super positive. The games were amazing, except for the finals. The finals, ironically, DreamHack always has really good finals, but this time they had really shit finals, but really good games before that. The Twitch Lounge was awesome. Hanging out with Too Good and crew was fun. Caldor, I don't think I mean, he was an amazing guy to commentate with. I was kind of worried going into it because he's really German and very dry, and I make a lot of jokes, so I was kind of like, oh shit, like he's going to stare me down mole trap style, and I'm going to feel super awkward. But he stuck right in there. Like, I actually accidentally referenced World War II at one time. Like, my mouth vomited out the reference. He ran with it. It was pretty cool. He's a good commentator.
Did you go down to the actual LAN area? Like the
yeah.
What is that like?
Weird. Okay,
does
so
it smell? Have they learned to shower yet?
No,
those things are always terrible, man.
First day, they're all showered, they're all clean. Second day, none of them showered, so it's kind of stinky. Third day and fourth day, I'll let your minds wander on that one. But like, the place is just a sea of people living out my like 16 or 17-year-old dream. They're just playing video games all day. They're interacting with chicks that are their age, walking around, and they're eating junk food and listening to concerts and stuff like that. It was really, really cool. It was absolutely really cool. The whole city, it's like a cultural thing too. Like, their parents are standing outside and sitting outside and camping outside because they trust their kids in there, but they want to be nearby because there's like some 12-year-old kids in there and shit too. So not a lot. It wasn't a lot of young kids. It was very much so, like, I would say 14 to 17 years old. That was the majority of them. But as far as the tournament and stuff goes, it's great. The culture of the place is awesome. We stayed in a nice hotel. It's like 30 feet from the actual venue, so
that's nice.
That's like as good as it gets.
Yeah. It always sucks when you have to walk back. Like, even if it's like 2 blocks, it's still a fucking pain in the ass at these events. But
I know.
I want to know the no Korean in top 8. Kind of how everyone feels about that. Was that a shocker to you guys? Was it the quality of Korean players that went there? Are foreigners catching up? What do you think? We'll start with IdrA.
Mostly circumstance, some bad draws, and then some just random results that happen in every tournament, and it just happened to line up for this one. Like, both Puma and Vampire not making it out past Fryer and Cytoplasm. I didn't see those games, so that's just the kind of weird little thing that happens once in a while that really shouldn't.
Well,
and then some bad luck in the brackets. Keen getting Stefano first, and Stefano against Korean Terrans who aren't MKP. He just kind of wins most of the time.
Yeah.
And Hero knocking out Tasia, who might be the most like well-rounded, hard to fluke out kind of player who is there. And so then Hero, also one of the best players there, knocks him out. Then Hero goes on to lose a PvP 1-2. So it's a lot of just circumstantial stuff. Plus there weren't that many Koreans to begin with, so it's not like hugely against the odds.
Dan, I know you watched a lot. What were your thoughts?
It was pretty sick. For the Korean part, I mean, the 3 group stages were pretty brutal. To see JYP get knocked out by losing one set in a group was like, oh, like what a strange reality that is, that you lose like one best 3 and you're out, and then Hero at 20-0 going 1-2 and that. And as Greg said, I mean, if Tasia is somewhere else in that bracket, he might take that tournament because he's just so solid, and that's like what you need to get through something like this. Whereas, you know, PvP, for instance, you might just lose. But it was a pretty sick tournament, actually. A lot of good games in it.
What was your, if you had to recommend like one best of 3 for people to go watch, what would it be?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God. Oh, that's a hard question.
Please don't say the Cytoplasm Dragon match, because that was actually the worst
I'm
thing
not
I've
going to
ever
say
seen.
that. By the way, there was almost 2 draws, man. I was watching Jeff freak out about that, but that other game should have been a draw. I could not believe that Keen messed that up, man. That was such an easy draw.
White Raw.
I didn't actually watch much White Raw.
White Raw played a PvP against Sase, and they did a base trade. He had a Warp Prism, Probes, and an Observer on the island with the Tumor version of Metropolis.
Yeah.
And he took a land base with like 800 minerals instead of taking the island against Sase, who had no way to mine and no Warp Prism, no Robo. So if he takes the island, 25 minutes later he shows up with like 10 Void Rays and wins the game.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
That's too bad. That's too bad. That Cytoplasm Dragon game was hard to watch, man.
It was hard to cast.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was freaking out. And then we were giving Apollo shit because like 3 seconds into the draw scenario, he goes, "So I guess it's a draw, right?" We're like, "What the?"
Oh yeah, he typed that in game, right?
Yeah.
I was surprised that wasn't like a big controversy. I mean, I guess people just.
Oh yeah.
What happened? I missed all of this.
Well, okay, the full story is Cytoplasm played Dragon on Antigua Shipyard. Cytoplasm actually had the game won for something like 35 minutes, but then Dragon just stopped attacking units and went after buildings. And it became this weird scenario where all of a sudden Cytoplasm realized he actually has to defend his buildings or he'll be eliminated. But it was after he lost all his hatcheries and had no way to mine. He had no corruptors, but he had like 8 infestors and 5 ultralists and 30 zerglings, and he had 88 suppliers, something like that. Whereas Dragon had like 2 marauders, 6 marines, 3 medevacs, and he was making banshees out of a starport, but they kept dying to infestors. So eventually it becomes a situation where the buildings... At first, by the way, Dragon didn't really realize that it's a draw or that he needs to float his buildings. So he was doing stupid shit like not lifting floatable buildings, and they were dying to ground units. So I was sitting there freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, is this actually going to happen? And then eventually it became the scenario where Cytoplasm can't kill things that float, and Dragon wasn't really lifting his buildings. He was kind of landing them, and not nonsensibly, like he wasn't actually landing them for anything. He was trying to mine with 1 or 2 orbitals, and they kept dying. And then Apollo typed in, and he's like, so it's a draw, I guess, right? Like on all.
Like before he's lifting buildings to run away?
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah. It ended up being a draw, and in the regame, Cytoplasm won anyway, so I think that's why there was no controversy. It was an honest mistake, and with the correct guy winning anyways, it's like, who cares, you know? Not worth.
You asked, like, a set that was really good. I thought the Sase Rhett, I liked it until the end of Game 3, where Rhett threw away, like, there was 0% chance for Sase to win. Like, there was just no possibility. Like, Rhett crushed him and then lost. But that series was really good until then. Oh, God, it was actually, I was so sad when I saw it happen, I was like, oh, someone needs to be around Rhett tonight, man. This is going to be the roughest loss of his career.
He was actually, like, messaging me emo stuff. I didn't see the game, so I did something about it. He actually tweeted.
Oh my god.
It was Cloud Kingdom.
He was
Sase was 2 basing timing, and Rhett had 3 base. And Sase was attacking the 3rd. That's just what you do in Cloud Kingdom. And Rhett was going roaches, and he held it. He eventually
he didn't just hold it. He caught Immortals and Sentries in the middle with Lings.
Oh.
2 of them.
It wasn't. Sase didn't retreat. It's
2 Immortals?
He demolished his
and 2
army.
Sentries.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And
It
so
was-
he had like a huge standing army, and Sase had nothing.
Well,
And then
Did he just let us get an army?
Then what happened?
He lost like 3 groups of roaches in like different spots in the map, just really stupid. Like he tried to put pressure on Sase with his roaches, and he didn't need to do that at all. And
It was cool, by the way, to see Freyr kind of pop out of nowhere for the second time
I
in
was
his
about
life.
to bring him up.
Because in StarCraft 1, he just kind of popped up and suddenly was one of the best Protosses in the foreign scene. We were like, who's this kid? And he was just like European JF. So
yeah.
to see him like pop up and do really well here, that was kind of cool.
Didn't he mostly get through on his PvP? I only saw him play against Amaga, and he looked pretty bad.
What race
The
does
hard
Hearthstone
rounds.
play?
The hard rounds.
Protos.
He got through. Hearthstone was Protoss as well.
Who, what?
So he played a lot of PvPs then.
Hearthstone? He actually had an awesome series. The Freyr Hearthstone PvP series is one of the most
Oh, I didn't watch that one.
strange and insane series I've ever seen. Cannon Rush Game 2 into, like, not mining for 3 minutes, killing the pylons, powering the cannons, and then winning with, like, Stalker Micro against
yeah, I saw that. That was sick.
other shit. And then in Game 3, they double base trade, exactly. Like, they take the opposite bases of each other after killing the bases, and then they both try to DT each other while they both have observers. And somehow fucking Freyr wins anyways. It was so crazy. It was awesome. Cool. Also, that Protosser kid is 15 years old, and he's exactly 3 feet tall.
Who?
I want you guys to imagine that the next time you play him.
Who is
really
this?
good.
This is a Finnish
Protosser.
Zerg player.
Oh.
I think he's supposed to be
15
the,
years old.
I think he's supposed to be the best Zerg in Finland.
Interesting.
So he's like Elfie's peer.
Yeah, but it's like Elfie, Wellmu.
I'm just
and
waiting for
Protosser.
Napoleon's comeback, guys.
Oh, I remember that guy.
guy.
I was never sure if he was good or not. It was just like I couldn't tell.
It was.
Oh, Do you guys remember Arcneon? I just got to bring this up real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
I was reading this really
Yeah.
touching post by TT1, like recalling Brood War, and he was like listing players that he's like, I bet you guys don't remember these names. And he starts listing players, and it's like really good IDs he's listing. I'm like, oh yeah, that guy. Oh yeah, I remember him. He was so, and then it was Arcneon, and I X'd the window off immediately.
Oh, damn.
He was like a frustrating player. Actually, like I don't know. There's like 5 Protosses like that. It made you suicidal to play against them.
Anyways, back to Starcraft.
Yeah, I don't know. how to
Mana
put this
Hero
down.
was actually a lot of fun to watch too, because that was like Hero should win this tournament, and Mana takes a game, and it's like his first loss, and it was like really exciting. And I was actually pretty happy for Mana to win it, because he's actually like, I dabbled with the thought of switching to Protoss and StarCraft 2 in my head for a while, but I needed like a basis to build off of to do it, and I hated to watch PBT because it was all-ins. And then I saw Mana in like, I think it might have even been the DreamHack tournament, go like gate, robo, gate, observer, and then expand, and scout his opponent, and then beat them. And that's actually why I switched over, because I was like, oh, okay, there's a build I can do.
I remember you telling me that. You were like so excited about the fact that he made observers. It was
Yeah,
like a
because
relationship.
everyone else was like, oh, here's a Void Ray on, here's a 4-gate, here's an expand into 4-gate. Like, it was just trash, man. Everyone was garbage, and he was actually trying to, like, scout his opponent, which I appreciate.
Well, I think Tyler's actually going to have to bounce out from the show. He got some lag. I think there's storms or some shit in Oakland. Or he might just want to go watch the NBA Finals for whatever reason.
Probably just gang shootings or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, he does live in Oakland, so... I'll get
so many shootings that it affects the internet, actually.
Somebody shot the cable that
Someone shot the cable, yeah. They knew it was Tyler, so they hit him where it hurt.
He needs to get a satellite dish, man. What's he doing? It's silly.
So I'll fix the webcam
Touched
here
the
in one
dish
sec.
on the top of his house.
Oh, by the way, I love that Damaga did really well with his Super Ling style. I love watching that style. Him and Moro are the only ones that do it all the time against Protoss.
It got
The Ling
solved in
dealing
the
with
last
Protoss.
game of the tournament.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the Archons were pretty much a problem, I have to admit. But it's cool, though, because that's a really good counter to everything, all these rushes that are coming on, and Mana was really smart to switch over into some Archons. But it's neat that, they solved that for a certain amount of time, and in fact, I don't know exactly what Symbols games looked like before for PvZ recently, but he was using a little bit of it. You know, he was mixing in, getting drops, and making a lot of banelings. It wasn't exactly the same, but it's cool to see people start using banelings, and it seems like banelings are better against Protoss right now than Terran.
Symbol's more like Losira style, where he opens up Roach and then mixes in the banelings for mid-game attacks and stuff. And that's like the much more robust way to play it. The way more I could do.
We gotta talk about that nerd. Like when
Dude,
we get
Symbol was actually fucking ridiculous.
amazing.
Did you watch GSL last night?
Yeah, that was actually
I didn't
incredible.
stay up.
Are you kidding me?
Dude, like those games, he actually just made like MKP and Parting look like chumps. Like,
I'd like to point out-
I don't think dude, that Cloud Kingdom game against Parting, like he killed his entire army in like 3 seconds. Like I hadn't seen anything like that. Like that was actually insane.
No, that was. Oh my god.
I would like to point out that MKP is still the most overrated player, and like that should happen.
great.
Oh, whatever.
And this is just proof of what I've been saying all along.
Oh,
He's
great.
fucking retarded. But no, Symbol's really, really good. Parting apparently doesn't know what kind of composition you're supposed to use against Ultras, so like he's sat on Stalker Colossus way too long. He didn't have any Mortals or Archons or enough Zealots.
He had 4 mortals in that battle in Cloud Kingdom.
That's
Well,
right.
he had 4 mortals. And,
You have to have Archons and Zealots in front of him.
he didn't have Archons, but he had like a lot of Zealots as well. They just all died to the Banelings, and then I mean he had to blink his Stalkers back. The Mortals got just dumped on, and then everything else died. It was like actually insane.
Gotta have Archons.
It was
Like,
crazy, man.
Steve
Symbol, like,
and the Templar
is
for
Symbol just
back.
gonna win GSL? Is that just gonna happen?
Are you
Like,
really just saying that in the round of 32? Is that
Yeah, man.
impressive?
it was.
Is-
That's actually
Unless he loses to another Zerg.
Yeah,
Is it-
that's actually.
like
I
a-
said that. I was like, maybe Nestea can take him out in ZVZ. They had a really good one in Team League, but
I think Symbol beat Nestea at Iron Squid, and that was the last tournament match they played.
Yeah.
Symbol
they
Z-
played GSTL too, and
the
Symbol beat him.
last tournament match.
Uh,
But Symbol ZVZ is like one of the best too. If he loses ZVZ, it's just going to be because like build order and randomness and stuff. He has a legit shot at winning it.
yeah, I mean, I don't like to do this in a round of 32, man, but
Yeah.
he looks so much better than everyone else in the entire world right now. Like, I watched DreamHack all weekend. I was so happy with the quality of the games, and I had a great time watching it. And then I went into GSL, and I was like, all right, some more StarCraft, cool. And then I watched Symbol play, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm glad I didn't cast this the day before DreamHack, because I couldn't have enjoyed anything for a while.
I'll have to go back and watch those games.
No, I mean, it sounds ridiculous saying someone is going to win in the round of 32, but I actually agree with you. Like, those games seriously looked like he was just, like, a step above both Parting and MKP, and those are 2 of the very best players in the world, so like, it's actually ridiculous. Like, those games look so one-sided, like, I don't even know.
His build on Entombed was really cool because it was just like a pure read. It's like it's Entombed Valley, it's Marine King. He's either going to proxy 2 racks or he's going to 14 CC. And so to fucking go 1 base Roach versus Terran in that situation was so smart. And that's never ever a smart decision versus Terran. It's like it's really cool.
That kid, he's like Jaedong's student, man. Jaedong knew.
Yeah, he was Neil Tho. He was actually the guy I played my first competitive Brood War match against when I was in Korea.
No way. Oh my god.
Yep. The first time I played GUM after I moved to CJ, it was me versus
What was
him.
the ID? I remember this game. I was there for that. What was the ID?
Neil Thoyu.
Neil Thoyu?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right, because I was like making fun of him because his ID was Neil.
He was like 14 then. Yeah.
Yeah, this little kid that named himself Neil beat Greg. It was terrible.
Nice. I mean, I don't really have much.
Greg played Terran though in StarCraft 1, so that wasn't his fault.
I have nothing really to add on DreamHack. Do you guys have any closing thoughts on it, Jeff? I guess you especially.
Just that it's just a real treat to have here in Europe. I mean, I think kind of bringing together the players and seeing, even though I agree with Greg 100%, it was very circumstantial for how the Koreans fell. And it's a really severe format. I mean, Huck lost 1 best of 3, and he's eliminated from the entire tournament before the single elimination. You know, it's just really rough stuff like that kind of equates to that kind of stuff. But it was a lot of fun to cast. The DreamHack management and Roberts, Roger.
What?
They're fucking
The CEO?
CEO.
Robert Ullman,
Yeah.
Robert.
isn't it?
Yeah, I'm just blanking on his name for some reason, but he's actually a pimp. And
He's so cool.
Greycarn, Hellspawn, they're all really good guys. It was a really cool casting with Caldor, like taking away from that. I know that, especially on Say the Game, I tend to be pretty hard on the Reddit community in particular, and really the community at large for a lot of the negativity that goes around. But this past weekend was nothing but
You know what I think
positivity.
it is, Jeff? I think that everyone on Reddit is European. So when there's an American tournament, they pick apart everything, and then when there's a DreamHack, they're just like in jubilation. I think that's what it is. I've solved Reddit, guys.
Could be, but it was super positive, and I was big. You know, every chance I get, I'll say thank you, and yeah.
It was definitely a lot of fun to watch. Artosis?
It was really fun. It was good production, good casters, good players. I just enjoyed the whole thing. And it was so cool because there were so many games that I literally got, like, it's hard to StarCraft me out in a day, but I would find myself falling asleep each day after like 10 hours in a row. And then I'd wake up and it wouldn't be on, so I'd watch VODs until it started again. There was that much content. It was insanity.
I actually have no idea how the casters do that event. Like,
oh, it's actually, here's the thing. Very impressive Mono 1. Way more impressive that the casters
casted every game without passing.
Wait, you know, actually, what's impressive, if you think about it, there was a post about this, so I don't want to spend too much time, but we went from E3 to MLG to DreamHack the next weekend.
With an ear infection.
With an ear infection where, like, he couldn't even get on the plane.
Dude, he's actually the guy at the end of the night at MLG. When everyone's dying, they just put him on, and he sounds like he just woke up, and he's excited, and he's actually a cyborg. That's
I don't get it, man.
Last night, which is actually today, I guess, we just got done partying at the end of DreamHack. He, Apollo, and myself went and talked from something like 5:30 to 8:30 or 9:30 or something like that. And then he packed and got on a train at 11.
Dude, that guy, man. What the fuck?
He's crazy.
I don't understand how he does that. He must like just be taking caffeine straight to the veins or something that we're not seeing.
Dude, I don't know. He is video game powered, not solar powered, but like if there's video games going on, DJ Wheat's fine.
Him and Kaldor, man. Pretty much.
Oh my god! Think about him and Kaldor. We could actually have like a 24-hour StarCraft cast.
Yeah. No, it's like,
dude, don't
you're
give that
dreaming small, Dan. It's like 40
24 hours is like nothing.
Don't tell DreamHack and MLG that, man. They'll actually make them fucking do it. They'll increase the schedule for you.
They'll do it as like they'll do it as a way to save money. Like, oh my god, what if we condense the tournament into one day and have them cast it?
Straight. We can have 2 tournaments in one day and have them cast both of them simultaneously.
That's right.
God.
You could actually have a cast-off between the two of them and see who drops out first, and I think it would actually, like, exceed the bandwidth for the internet. Like, dude, you just keep going.
It's true. That's true.
I think Kaldor in that DJ Wheat would actually just pass out at some point. Kaldor has more sustenance.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I
I've
don't
never
actually
seen
know.
DJ Wheat
It's like the healthiest human being on Earth.
I've never seen Wheat exhausted. Well, I mean, I've seen him exhausted,
get citizenship before the end of that cast. Whatever country he's in, he would gain citizenship.
Yeah, that's how he did it in Korea, man. I don't know.
He just casted too much. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy though that the casting hours there. But I tell you, for me sitting at home, I was happy about it. When I was there casting, I was like, "Oh my god, am I tired?" But as the observer, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I don't. MLG was one of the most exhausting events, so I have no idea how we could do that. But that was DreamHack. The VODs are all up. You can go check them out.
Yeah, check out Spoiler Free SC on Reddit.
I saw
like
that.
Our Spoiler Free SC. I use that all weekend. Insanely good. Some of the links sometimes are a little bit off. Like for some reason, the Nanoa de Manga, I didn't get to see the whole series. I only linked to one game.
There's 2 games there. The link I followed for that, the 3rd game was just like cut off. It just wasn't in the VOD. It was weird.
Well, it only linked me to like game 2. Like the Ohana game was the only one I could find. It was weird. I don't know, but yeah, it's awesome. Everyone should use that.
Yeah, go watch it. We just got
it has like only 2,000 subscribers.
Yeah,
and
go
it's
subscribe.
Just StarCraft content and like the main Reddit SC with just pictures of Diapolo's new haircut on it has like over 100,000.
Yeah, they just eclipsed 100,000.
Yeah.
At least we beat the League of Legends community though. That's good. So we go from DreamHack to the GESL, and this is one of the reasons why Isaac is here. He's one of the casters for the event. A team manager told me it was the worst event ever he's ever been to. It was, for whatever reason, just terrible. I didn't actually watch any of it on the stream. I know that the numbers were pretty terrible, less than 1,000 at one point from what I remember, but Isaac, what were your thoughts on the event being there? Was it a completely different experience than the online portion, or no?
Honestly, like I'm pretty surprised to hear that because, like, I think that, I mean, if you're talking as far as like worst event ever, as far as what people were expecting in numbers and everything, and like the skill level of the players versus how much attention it got, then I can understand that. Like I can understand saying it wasn't successful because yeah, like the viewer numbers were really awful for a lot of it, but. As far as the actual quality of the event, how the players were treated, I've heard like basically every pro gamer who was there said that they were treated amazing, that they were treated better than any other event that they'd been to. Like there was volunteers and stuff that were basically just from the university that were driving the players around to get whatever food they want. If they wanted to go somewhere just for fun, they drive them there. They drive them back and forth, like pretty much whatever they want. I mean, they were like baking them food, and there was like a lounge with like food all day long, and they were giving them like pizza and KFC, etc., etc.
Like the
so
best event ever, man. What the fuck?
yeah,
Pizza and KFC, so you could just tell us it was the Korean players there then.
like the players were treated amazingly, and like I was treated well and everything. There was obviously like a lot of surrounding drama or issues or whatever as that contributed to having really low viewers, which I think is a shame. And I mean, the first day, the university like didn't have their internet set up for LAN, so everything was delayed a couple hours. So that definitely hurt it. But I mean, there was some really amazing games, and like it's definitely not. It wasn't supposed to be MLG. It wasn't supposed to be DreamHack. You know, no one's expecting there to be like 10,000 fans there. But as far as actually how the players were treated and how it was organized, I thought it was really good.
Do you think it has the, I guess, hype going into the tournament had anything to do with the amount of sponsorships behind it? Did that kind of set precedent?
I mean, I think that, like, yeah, maybe people were expecting too much, but I think that, like, people would be surprised by some of the stuff that, like, I was told by some of the organizers. I mean, when GESL was going to be brought up on, like, State of the Game and Inside the Game and Live on 3 and all, like, anytime they were going to get some sort of plug, people were DDoSing the website, and, like, from an hour before the show would start till 3 to 4 hours after the shows would end.
I think that we can blame you for that, Azael. I think you brought the DDoSers over.
Oh, well, I don't know, man, but, like,
That's
there's all
so
kinds
sad.
of crazy stuff that was going on. So they were getting DDoS. There was, like, I know, like after the whole Destiny thing, like he was having, this is what I was told, don't quote me, but he was having all his fans downvote all the threads on Reddit. Like, you know, like there was people, someone like, I don't know the website or what, but there was people that were calling the players, like a bunch of players stopped going because they were getting phone calls telling them that the event was canceled, that they weren't going to be given prize money.
What the fuck, dude?
No way. That actually happened?
Yeah, that happened. And they also found somehow got the information of some of the fans who had like registered for the early event passes. They called them, said the event was canceled, to ask for a refund. There was like all kinds of stuff, man. Like people were kind of trying to like sabotage it, basically, which is really sad because yeah, there was some really good games. I mean, on the last day, I think the last series I cast was Dream versus Golden, which in my opinion was amazing. It was a really good series, probably the best one of the tournament. It had about 8.5k viewers, which is not bad, but at the same time. Earlier in the day, I cast Young versus Violet. You know, that's like a Code S level TVZ, right? It had 220 viewers.
Jesus.
Wow.
And
That's pretty low.
there was like, yeah, it is. I mean, anyone at the event could just turn on their stream and get like 10 times that. But I mean, it was just kind of sad seeing that there was like so many good games, like there were really good games, but just no one was watching for most of it. And I don't really know why it was. Obviously, DreamHack was a big contributor. But even once DreamHack would, like, that was the 200 viewer thing was during DreamHack, and there was basically no one watching while DreamHack was on. But even after that, for the first 2 days, you know, I didn't really see it get above maybe like 2K or something like that. And meanwhile, League of Legends had like something like 46,000. So I mean, the really sad part is that for whatever reason, I mean, whether it was DreamHack, whether it was bad timing, whether it was all these people that were kind of against the event to start with. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see you might never hold an SC2 event again, and why would they? When
that's crazy. Man.
It's the point when, you know, they have all this stuff happening like in the SC community that's kind of trying to stop it, and then also like the viewership, 46k for LOL, and like I don't know what GESL topped out at, but for the most part it was like 1-2k. The highest I saw it get was 8.5k, but it may have gotten higher during the finals. I don't actually know what the viewers were at during the finals.
How is there no threads or
like,
anything about
talking
this
about that?
Sabotaging? Why is that not out?
I don't know.
It's
if
like 5 people watched the tournament.
Yeah, I guess no one watched.
I don't know if it was on the DL or whatever, but that was some of the producers and stuff were telling me all about that, and like it's pretty sad. Like I don't know like what exactly caused that or anything, but I mean it's just depressing. And
we need a esports vigilante that goes around to the people that email sponsors, but then also does that kind of stuff. And he needs to like throw them from buildings.
Yeah, it's like I just think it's just sad, and I mean like I don't know if it was to do with the Destiny thing, and I'm sure if it was to do with him, I'm sure it wasn't him that was telling people to do it, but you know, like a lot of people were mad that he didn't get hired or that he got replaced or whatever.
I just want to say Destiny did not like tell people to do any of that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Because that's the people in the chat are going fucking ape shit, man. I'm probably about to get DDoS. There's a fucking sniper outside my window and shit. It's like, you fucking talk shit about Destiny and I just get fucking killed right here live on air.
I'm not saying it was Destiny or anything like that, guys. Like, all I'm saying is that a lot of people were angry that he did get replaced, and there was a lot of talk about that, and people boycotting it because he wasn't going to cast and so on and so forth. So I definitely think that you know, the whole thing contributed to it, and sometimes some of the fans, I think, can kind of get a little bit carried away or whatever, you know. So
yeah, well, that's a shame if that's all. I mean, that's the first I have ever heard anyone say anything about that, about the event and all those issues that it had. I just thought it wasn't getting viewership. I didn't know it was had to do with all that. I don't know why you guys want me to call Destiny. There's like no point to.
It's a meme. You don't actually call anyone. They just say to call someone.
Ah, okay. It's.
I don't know. I think in this case they might actually mean call.
Yeah, it's. Well, whatever.
You can't tell now.
Yeah, we can't. Thanks. Too good.
Too good. Stroll is extending. Yeah.
Okay, I have no idea. So Monster ended up winning the event. The lineup, like you said, is pretty insane for this tournament. Monster got first, Sleep second, Violet third, Golden fourth, 4 Zergs. What was that like casting the finals of that event? Did you cast the semi?
I did.
That's really mean, JP.
I'm sorry. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Because you didn't watch it, did you, JP?
I didn't watch it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it.
I don't know. I mean, I think that like Zerg's obviously doing really well, and like maybe some people weren't that happy about the ZVZ games, but some of them were pretty exciting. Like it wasn't just. I feel like the Lingenfester like into an ultrasound like that going up against Roaches is a lot more interesting rather than just Roach versus Roach battles. And Golden and some of the other Zergs were actually like doing it so much better than I've seen in the past. And when we first saw that coming out, it was basically like people just like turtling on 2 bases until they get like 20 spine crawlers, and then kind of starting to like tech up and take their third and everything. But now it was like they were doing these super greedy builds where they could never win a straight up fight, but they were just keeping their opponents like basically in their base the whole game with like Ling counterattacks and like 3 bases at once, just like always threatening it the whole game. And it was a really fun style to watch, I thought, and it looks pretty hilarious if they do end up getting all the way up to ultras and they have a good infestor count and they have the spine crawlers, and then it's just against a pure Roach army because the Roaches just get absolutely dumped on.
I'm trying to look at how many Zergs. So there were 7 Zergs. 4 of them placed top 4. The other 3, I guess, were out of the top 16. Lot of Korean. I guess all the Koreans were.
It was all Korean. I mean, it was the polar opposite of DreamHack, man. Like DreamHack, there was no Koreans in top 8. At the GESL,
yeah, wow, everyone
Korean made it out of their group, and every Korean, like no Koreans lost to a foreigner. I think there was one series where a Korean lost to a foreigner, and I think it was like. I don't know. Well, actually, there was a couple, but like I mean, no one got knocked out. Like there was 4 foreigners that made it into the top 16. It was like DeMuslim, Axlav, I want to say Illusion and Inser, and they all got 2-0'd in round of 16. And then like Koreans, it was only Koreans from round of 8, and 12 out of 16 Koreans in round of 16.
I know Axlav beat Tails at least. That's one Korean or one foreigner beating Korean match. I can remember.
Axlav is actually the highest placing foreigner.
Korean as well, I think, but I'm not sure.
Let's take a look.
Is that event like releasing replays or anything like that, or VODs or whatever?
I'm sure VODs are up somewhere. I don't know.
Probably on the spoiler-free SC.
I'm sure there's one. Like some of the series were really good, man. I'd definitely check out Dream versus Golden in round of 8. It was like actually insane. Dream, I think, is really impressed me, and it was cool because like I didn't really know that much about him before the event, but like DeMuslim was training with him and some of the Slayers guys between MLG and the event, and he was saying that he thought Dream was the most impressive of the bunch by far. So it was really cool to see him play, and he like just basically goes tankless completely in TVZ. I didn't see him build a tank the whole weekend. He goes Blue Flame, Hellion, and Bio. And his multitasking and stuff was actually insane. And he also used just like kind of like shift queuing a lot better than I've seen anyone else do it. Like how he was doing drops was, I mean, he shift queued a drop, which obviously everyone does, but then he stims the units and then he like shift attacks onto the hatch, shift queues back into the medevac, and shift queues the medevac away. And then so he's like doing like 4 drops to snipe hatcheries at the same time while like still microing his main army, because all he does is just, it's all done with shift queues. And it was really, really sick, and he was also really controlling his medevac so well, which made that style so much stronger, because it's like, you know, normally if you go pure bio and everything and all your medevacs get fungled, you lose your medevacs, it's kind of game over. But he'd have his medevacs like hold position behind his army, or he'd pull them back and everything so they weren't getting hit by the fungals, and it was actually really, really sick to watch. And even though he lost against Golden, like I was absolutely blown away with how good he was.
Sick. Greg, did you happen to watch any of the matches?
No, I was streaming all the time it was on, so I didn't really see much
Oh,
of it.
you asshole. That's why they had
Oh,
no
Greg
viewers.
helped to kill the viewer
Yeah,
count.
God, it was Greg, man. He was telling all those people to DDoS. And
Yeah, I tried to get a spot last second, and they said the last spot belonged to Inori, and Inori's a little shit, so, you know, I had to stream the whole time.
Greg's like, didn't I beat Inori at an MLG?
You son of a bitch,
So
Greg.
stream.
It's all your fault.
I only had like 4 or 5 times there. It was nothing.
Well, we're going to kind of kick back to MLG now, because we didn't do a show last week. Probably won't spend too much time on this, because a lot of it is kind of, I guess, well, there were really no talk shows, actually, last week, so we'll spend some time on it. DRG ended up winning the event, of course. I think the biggest surprise was, at least to me, was Alicia beating Marine King 2-0 there in the third place match. Artosis, you were casting that. Was that a huge surprise to you?
No, not a huge surprise. I mean, Alicia knows what he's doing, for sure. He's, you know, he's got really solid micro, and he's kind of a specialist in PvT, so I wasn't that surprised. Back when he first kind of popped on the scene, I thought he was top 1 or 2 Protoss in the whole world, and then he kind of fell off because he tried to use DTs too much.
Yeah.
We've seen that happen. That happens to Protosses sometimes. They use DTs a little bit, and it gets them a lot of success, because it's like good to mix some in. Then they do it too much and get figured out, and then they go away. Mm-hmm. But it looks like he's back, and I mean, he's a strong player. Not shocked.
Jeff, what were your thoughts on Alicia at MLG?
For me, it kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I thought Sase had a really cool chance to make. I mean, he made it as deep as he did, but I thought he could actually make it even deeper. I was like, oh, Alicia, he's not necessarily known for his PvP, I don't think. And then in a good series, Alicia came out way ahead there. But I mean, his PvT is sharp. I think it's interesting because the Korean Protoss versus Terran now is pretty formulaic, and it seems they have it fairly figured out. I didn't see anything that I haven't seen before, but he just made pretty good choices and kind of absorbed the wackiness of Marine King every time he tried something slightly different. He was right there ahead of it.
Yeah, I think that Sase got pretty good coverage, but Zaka didn't really get all that much. I think we showed 1 or 2 matches of him on main stage, and that was it. But both of them had a pretty incredible run that tournament after having not the best success in their pool.
No, Sake's success was almost all in the pool. He went like
Am I
3...
looking at the old ones? He went 3-2.
oh, but he beat DRG.
Dongragu,
Oh yeah, he was the only player to beat DRG, that's right.
He 2-0 DRG with the Immortal push. I don't know if he did anything after brackets, really. It was Sase who had the really long run. I think 2-0...
Zaka did a little bit after brackets, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking at Zaka. No, he just straight up lost to Gonzi.
Oh, really?
After
And beating DRG was a big thing with him this event.
Yeah. Yeah, so he took out DRG, and then let's see who else he beat. He beat Oz 2-1.
Oz, like,
and
cannot
Hart. And
beat-
no, Sase was the one that beat Hart. Who else was it? No, but they both beat Hart. Okay. So Hart just had a terrible tournament. He went 0-5. 2-10 overall.
Wow.
You laugh, Greg. What was that smirk?
About him going 0-5. I've always thought that Hart... it always confused me that Hart wins as much as he does. Me and Jeff talked about it. Like, he's not a bad player by any means, but, like, he had quite a bit of success there for a little while. And he's kind of... I don't know, he plays kind of weird. His mechanics aren't good enough to explain his results.
The MLG prior to this, his TVZ was very strong, and that was at a time when ZVT wasn't what it is now. So I think he did fairly well off his TVT and TVZ, and he like had a couple of weird TVP wins that blew me away. Like the Huck series was very strange. But then in this MLG right now, Terrans can't seem to beat a Zerg to save their life, and when you take that matchup out of a lot of these Terrans that were relying on TVZ as kind of their matchup, you're seeing a lot of them sink lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean TVZ, like all the pros at GESL and stuff were pretty much complaining about it. Like all the Koreans and even the Protos and everything. Like they were all just talking about the whole weekend about Zerg OP, like can't win, it doesn't matter, etc. Like all the Slayers guys, like all the MVP guys, like they were all talking about it. And Nori was talking about it. And I mean, in Nori the first day, I think, or in the group stage or something, went like, I don't know, 10-0 against Zerg to start or something, and then lost to
Azael,
it. Like,
you know what though? In the words of Wolf, while all that complaining was going on, do you know what MVP was doing?
That's so funny.
That was a pretty funny post.
This always happens though. After every single little tweak, little patch to the game,
Crazy,
Yeah.
everyone's like,
Yeah.
"You just can't win this because my old Hellion build doesn't keep the Korean interface on power."
There was
And it's like, guys, stop being stupid. All right, it was a little buff so that you can't trick Zerg so terribly hard anymore, and a little buff so your Hellions don't just win you the game outright. It's like, you will come up with new stuff, and you will figure out how to win again. The game isn't broken from this.
yeah,
It's
I
actually
agree.
frustrating to listen to this. People whine way... Like, back early StarCraft 2, it was fine, because there was, like, some weird, gross imbalances going on in the beta and stuff.
Yeah, during the imbalance show.
Yeah. And then
we fixed that.
because the game became more balanced. Greg and I championed the cause of fixing the game, and we
Dan gave up
now
the
it's
show,
fine.
and Greg carried the torch in every show that he had after that, and now here we
I
are.
have to do my part. Like, we all have our...
So this is.
I agree though. I mean, it was like a couple weeks ago, Terrans were saying it's impossible against winning against Protoss, and now that's like out the window. Like
Listen to
no,
this stat
no.
real quick. This is a pretty interesting stat. So, DreamHack Summer, MLG Spring Championship, Spring Arena 2, WCS USA, GESL, Red Bull Battlegrounds, TSL 4, Qualifier 1, 2, 3, and 4. Out of all of those, the top 4, only 3 were Terran. Top 2, only 1 was Terran, and no Terran has won an event out of 10 of those.
If you look at some of
these don't count, man. When you count like WCS, for instance, it's like, well, that is a small player pool. That doesn't count. And you have to look who's at these tournaments too. For instance, like there's some good Terrans.
He just
at the
named
GSL.
every tournament, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they actually boil it down to the ones with really good players in it, it's like, well, actually, Terrans are still doing
Look,
fine.
I didn't mention
Did
GSL,
MVP just win
Jeff.
GSL?
Dan's upset.
Oh. Dan, how are the Terrans doing in Korea right now? Didn't they just get their first win in the GSTL like a week ago or 2 days ago or something like that?
Did 2 of them just kill an entire team? Yeah, they did. And did MVP just win GSL? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
Listen, Dan, this is all meta. You know that, right? Like, I'm actually trying to build up the scenario so that it'll all come crashing down, and they'll be like, but I thought Jeff was defending the scenario, and it turns out I'm a secret saboteur.
Okay, I thought so.
I've said this for a while. What happened is they changed the queen. And I don't necessarily think it's imbalanced, but it got more attention. Zergs are starting to experiment more with the queen, and they're realizing they could build less spine crawlers, go lings later, make more queens, and they transition into a stronger mid game with better creep spread, more transfusions, and they were able to more effectively spend their money in the early game. So all of a sudden they're doing better, which means a lot of the strategies that were kind of taking advantage of Zergs inappropriately spending their money is now out the window, but they're still trying to do it against a more queen-heavy approach.
Yes.
So the game is going to balance out in probably a few weeks. Mm-hmm. And it's right now it's really bad, but it's weird to talk about this because guess what? Statistically, just like JP, I have this up in front of me, after every fucking patch this has happened, every single fucking patch, they like buffed the Immortal, and Greg filled buckets with tears and dumped him on his keyboard. Like, I can't, the range is so ridiculous.
And Sake just 2-0 DRG with the Immortal all in, and Mana just 2-0 Stefano with the Immortal all in, so fuck you.
And as you can see, Greg still dumps buckets of tears all over his keyboard.
I should have dropped Baneland.
While winning everything else, but still, the rest of the world's like, okay, the Immortals aren't that big of a deal. And then time goes on. This is going to happen. Like, Terran's going to figure out the next build. You know what it's going to be? It's going to be Nama builds. Get your fucking belts ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be battle cruisers with CVs getting dropped and mules getting called down to mass repair them at like the 5.5 minute mark.
That's not the Nama build. The Nama build is to send all your SCVs with your attack.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, but you just said for repairing.
No, he's dropping mules to repair the SCVs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shit.
sick.
Nama
Okay.
2.0.
I'm like, I just watched The Matrix. I am actually the Oracle that
next
cooked,
level
that, like,
stuff.
cooked those fucking the cookies and shit. Like, I know what's going on. And I'll make you as right as rain.
Whoa.
You are
Jesus.
not the one.
God damn it.
Something you said earlier, I think ZVT is actually kind of the other way around. It's not entirely that Zerg's been pushed more towards Queens. It's mainly that Terrans are just like so afraid of Queens with their Hellions now that they're not using them the way they can. There's actually so many openings for Hellions to just run in and kill all the drones. Like, Zergs are not playing safe at all versus Hellions. They're just depending on the fact that everyone's so afraid of the Queens now, when really, like, they tickle them from a little further away, but they still tickle them. And you can run past
That's true.
I was literally seeing like so many ZVTs. Like one of the games Golden played, I think he got gas at like 56, and he had 0 Zerglings. He never produced a Zergling, and he had no spine crawlers. It's like just queens. Like if at any time you run past, you just win the game. Like.
No, it's entirely true. That's the way most CVTs are early on right now. Sometimes they'll get a spine. You can kind of run around that anyway if there's no building wall. And there is no building wall when you have 4 Hellions, even 6 sometimes. Like, Terrans are just not... They just don't know where the holes are in the new timings yet. It's the same way it's always been. Like, Terran always gets nerfed, and they always lose everything for a week, and then they go straight back up to 60% win. And I don't know if that'll happen this time, because Zerg is doing a lot better than they
It might
usually
even
do.
out at 50%.
Yeah, it might end up... it might only be 55 this time.
Mara was doing, and I don't think this is the answer. Actually, I kind of got up on the soapbox a little bit during MLG about, or not MLG, but DreamHack about this, because I really feel like it's interesting that we're in this era where coming off of like almost every GSL champion being a Terran, and then like huge win percentages. Right now, they're dipping into the losing side of that, and it's like it's interesting to see how easily a lot of them quit. They're like, well, can't win anymore. I'll just go play some other game right now. It's like Jesus Christ, man. Thank God you didn't play Protos or Zerg.
I do love it, though, because every patch that nerfs Terran, we get rid of a bunch of people that were winning when they shouldn't have been.
Like Marine King.
Well,
He's not going away.
Well, hey,
Edit
let me
that out,
hang
guys.
on.
Let's just keep
Hang on.
talking.
Hang on.
Greg's going to say this for like 10 years, and Marine King's going to, like, you know...
He's going to retire eventually. It has to happen.
He's going to, like, retire after winning, like, his 12th GSL, and Greg's going to be like, see, he's gone, guys. I've been calling this since Season 2.
I knew it. I knew it was
Listen,
coming.
though. Hang on. Let me finish my point real quick. I feel like Terrans need to take more risks and experiment with different builds. Like Mara was doing this 2 racks thing, and I'm not saying you need to do this. You need to do 2 racks every game, and it's not 2 racks like proxy racks all in, like we've seen that a million times, which I still think Terrans should do more of. But he was doing 2 racks opening into fast expand, but he just kind of kept making Marines. And if you do this queen heavy build on some of these maps, like Antigua Shipyard, where you kind of have to go down a ramp and up another, it actually just cancels out the 3rd. And I was talking to QXC about this, and he was saying, well, obviously, if they open up speed, you're kind of in trouble, and that is a little bit of the risk that's going on there. So obviously, you divert your strategy if you notice that, and it's not the fast 3rd style. But I just think Terrans need to experiment with different builds other than Reactor Hellion Expand, or we're seeing like Reactor Hellion Banshee, which I think is pretty cool, but then they complain when they lose 3 Banshees and wonder why they're behind. It's like, well, that's the same thing that happens when you open up Void Ray.
Another thing I have to say about Terrans, I'm sorry to cut you off, but they need to scan if they don't know what their opponent is doing. I'm so sick of watching Terrans be like, well, Protos is obviously in balance. I'm like, did you ever get to scout him? They're like, no. I'm like, do you have 2 orbitals or maybe 3 orbitals? Well, I need the mules. It's like, oh my god, just if you don't know what they're doing, do a scan or float a barracks in for even less money than a scan. Like, do something to scout. Oh, god damn it. Alright, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, we saw, like, the kind of, like, two-cloak Banshee plus Raven thing pop up for a bit, and, like, I don't know why we're not seeing more of that, because I think it's so good, and, like, even just having a Raven in your army just to remove creep for the whole game, it's like you see so often in even the mid-game, late-game, Terrans will be out of minerals, they'll have like 3k gas and no one ever adds on a Raven, yet they're still having a scan constantly, especially obviously if there's burrow for Banes and everything, but even just to remove creep and like really burrowed infestors, anything, like having a Raven in your army just seems so good to me. Like, you know, even in mech stuff, it's like like Terrans go mech or whatever, and you see so often like Zergs will burrow their infestors under and throw up like infinity infested Terrans, them running with their roaches. So I mean, it's just surprising to me because the Raven Banshee opening, like you can go out, you can deny creep for so long, you can even use PDD offensively against the queens. It seems so strong to me, and you have a couple Hellions like damaging the queens, then you push forward, you do that. If they mess up, they can just lose. I mean, and if they don't, then you should just keep your units alive, add them into your army, deny creep, and it just seems so strong to me.
It's a really big investment, and now after the patch, Zergs have started to go additional 4 queens instead of 2 to push out creep, and 4 queens is enough to beat a PDD plus 2 banshees. So it's not nearly as good as it used to be. It's a big, but
have you guys seen the people are making Ravens late game sometimes now? It's kind of cool. It's kind of neat to deal with Broodlords because they have like the secret turrets and you can or whatever it's called, secret missile and. The point defense drone against Corruptors, so your Vikings get those few extra volleys that they really need, because always Corruptor Viking battles are really close, so like 1 or 2 PDDs have been actually helping a lot.
PDD
you
is
can make
like
a run anyways.
PDD is like the underrated thing there. Everyone gets it, oh yeah, you Hunter Secret Missile all the clumps. But no, actually putting PDD down and having 4 Starport Vikings, that's the way to win the air battle, like as long as you spread out against Fungals. It's something a lot of like Terrans in North America have been doing recently is actually just pure bio tankless, and then adding in Ravens in the late game, and it actually is kind of a lot like SK Terran in Starcraft 1, and it's really, really annoying to play against. I don't know if it's
that's
actually
cool.
good yet.
I want to see that.
It feels like it can be overpowered, but if you don't catch it early and switch to Roachling Baneling and just kill them, all of a sudden it gets really, really hard. It's weird.
Damn, I want to see that. I want to see some of that, man. Someone GSL better do that.
There you go.
It's like basically what Dream is doing. I mean, late game he would go like Ghost Raven added into like the bio plus Blue Flame Hellions and stuff. But Golden was just doing like 100% air. Like he basically was going like 30 Corruptors or something ridiculous with Brutes and still beating it. Like, so I don't know. Like I don't know if Dream just didn't have had too many Marauders left or didn't have enough anti-air or what. But it still looked really hard to beat.
Just real quick, I guess there's a lot of people asking for like a Terran on the show and stuff, and the pretty basic line here, guys, is even though there's not a specific Terran on the show, we're still going to talk about StarCraft. So if you don't want to hear about us talking about Terran, I have just one basic recommendation. I want you to take your computer chair. I want you to break off one of the legs to it, like that holds the wheels, and I want you to cram it down your throat until you die. Because I'm so sick and tired of people tuning into a show like, who's the guest? Cool. They better not fucking talk about Terran, because if they do, holy shit!
Turn into the Macho Man Randy
Shut
Savage.
the fuck up.
You don't have any Terrans on the show because they're all retarded and over-entitled because they've been winning at 60% for the last year. So they aren't objective and they can't talk about us properly. So we couldn't have any of them on. Sorry.
Yeah. The real reason is QXC wasn't on, and there's no other Terran in the U.S. that could actually talk on it.
I am so bothered by the fact that Azael was talking about casting when he's only been casting StarCraft 2 for like 6 months. When we have Artosis here, who's been doing it for 36 years. The hell up.
Oh,
Jesus.
God. All right, let's get back on topic. We had the World Champion, the weird, God, Blizzard's tournament name is so weird. The World Championship Series USA Nationals, is that right? Because the next one's
that's an easy title next.
Yeah, but look,
EG Masters Cup Series League.
Yeah, but
I love it every time.
Yeah, but the next one is called the U.S. or the North American Nationals. Like, what the fuck's the difference?
I
guess it has Canada in there, so it's combined
Canada
into
and America, JP. I am so sorry.
I mean, but it just doesn't make sense.
We also have Mexico and Central America, buddy.
Look, Dan. Is Major gonna come up? Is he gonna play?
Major and Maker are the two relevant ones. Yeah, Major's coming back to the U.S. this time. Korea's up because he's like running out.
They got Maka, and I think Masa is I think he's Mexican as well.
I think you're confusing them with Maker. I think Masa's an American.
You might be right.
Maker's a little ghosty Terran.
Oh yeah, not Maka. It's Maker. I was thinking.
Yeah, I remember Maker. He was like a really young Terran in StarCraft 1, right?
Was he? I don't remember.
I'm actually waiting. I'm waiting for Ass to make a StarCraft 2 comeback and then have his name censored by the new BattleNet.
There's a player named Ass, really?
Yeah.
That's sick.
I beat him a few times, so you could say.
Who was it that Blast had like hate it or something. Blast and Kier. They didn't like each other. That's right.
I don't know.
Only you followed the Mexican politics of Brazil.
I loved playing with the South American and Mexican players in like 04 or so. They were so underrated. They were actually really good.
Oh, that's right. You're the one that brought that hacker into our training circle who would then nuke Bryce over and over.
Who was it?
Wasn't that
That
Gussie?
was Major.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was Major, who wasn't a hacker.
Yeah, he did hack at the time.
But he
No,
would.
he did not. No, he did not. We ran those replays through flag system. You're a fool,
found
man.
him.
You guys were just so sad that there was a 15-year-old Mexican kid that was twice as good as you.
Anyways.
But the important part of all that was he nuked Bryce repeatedly.
Yeah.
We were on vent with him too the whole time. It was so painful.
Yeah.
He like can't even get mad. He's just really sad about it.
So, Greg, the question I have to
hang
you...
on, guys. Hang on, I have an update. Avilo has called us out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yay. All right,
That's about as much as it matters.
so
That's
the GSL round of 32.
Now, I still want to talk about... I brought it up the show prior to MLG. I don't know if... Greg, were you on that show? Do you remember?
I don't know what you're talking about yet.
Yeah, that's true. I brought it up with Jeff, and Jeff's response was like, more StarCraft, are you kidding me? But I was worried the fact that there was going to be the two tournaments running at the same time.
Wait, which tournaments?
The WCS and MLG running at the same exact time. Because I had seen the schedule, I knew how crazy it was going to be. I think Jeff was the only one to really comment on it. I don't know if Greg was on that show, but...
No, I was. I said I expected it to be okay. I just kind of assumed that they would have reasonable scheduling. I wrote an article about this. Illusion ended up playing until 2:30, I think, on Friday night, and then me and him I played till 1, and me and him had to play 9 a.m. the next morning.
Yeah.
I just assumed something like that wouldn't happen. I had like 2-3 hours of sleep after that. It was utterly ridiculous.
Yeah, JP, my innocence was spoiled. I had forgot to include the part that we weren't just playing StarCraft, but we were actually playing it in pretty bad conditions. So the next time you're like, I'm worried about how much StarCraft you have to play, I'll be like, yep, I'm worried about it too.
Well, I mean, the other side of the story was that MLG announced, or I don't even know if it was like an announcement. Someone
announced and reverted.
Yeah, someone read the rules, and then they found that like people.
No, MLG John posted on TL about it.
Okay.
John Nelson.
Yeah, so John Nelson posted that they're not allowed to play in both tournaments coming up the summer championships. The community got pretty outraged about it, and then earlier today they went back and said that it's going to be staggered again and changed the rule. But I want to know, as players, Greg, is that, as well as Jeff, what do you guys think about that? There's nothing that can obviously be done now, but is this a standard that shouldn't be set?
2 events
forward?
in one weekend should not happen, like 2 full events. It's just there's not enough time for it. We'll see how well they stagger it, because this is only 32-man, whereas the American one was 64. So they may be able to fit it better. They also have experience with it now. Hopefully they've learned from that. In general, I don't think it's possible to do it well. Hopefully they'll do it better. But yeah, tournaments should not, it's fucking too many games. You can't play both of those, and they're 2 really important events that we can't really afford to miss.
That's the issue. Like, the worst part too is the condensation that people were posting. I mean, obviously there's just idiots on the internet, so you don't want to give it too much attention. But there's people who are like, first you complain about there, being too much, and now you complain that and they're like missing the point. Being blocked from one or the other is a terrible situation, but what's only slightly better is being able to play in both. Ideally, it's separated. Like, WCS deserves its own coverage, and MLG obviously deserves its own coverage, and quite frankly, like, this will be something that's going to be a problem moving into the future, because it's a lot of money, it's a big deal, but how much attention has Vibe gotten, guys? Where the fuck is the attention for Vibe? I don't see his name anywhere. He won
one match.
He won the equivalent of the national champion. Like, when we won in WCG, it was a huge fucking deal. And all I see, you want to know the most coverage that he's gotten? Cats tweets. I've seen 2 Cats tweets about him streaming. And he's like, the national champion Vibe is streaming. And it's like, that's it. It
is
10,000
sad, but
people.
You got to compare it. In StarCraft 1, it wasn't really global. We had our scene, and that was the one tournament all year. Right now, there's so many tournaments, and that is a much smaller one. If it's only Americans, it's going to be a lot easier, and it's not going to have some of the star-studded names. And unfortunately, that is just the case.
Thank you,
But
Captain Obvious.
also-
My point is that there should be more coverage, not the reasons why.
Well, it would
not
be nice to have more coverage, but it has to be paired with other events, doesn't it? I mean, it's hard
Right.
to... It's really hard to hold it alone. It costs a lot to like rent out a convention center or something, right?
It's fucking Blizzard. They're paying $30,000 for an American-only tournament. I mean,
I don't know.
they're
I really-
investing
I
a
hate-
lot of money in this, and like more
I
than they
hate-
need to.
Ugh.
I like the idea of pairing tournaments up, though, because you're going to get so many people to actually go there and watch it. Now,
But it's horrendous for the players. Like it's
No, man.
undoable for the players.
but you could
like the
choose to
idea?
do just one, too. Well, I like the idea of making sure that a ton of people are going to be there for that, because I agree that, I mean, Vibe should get a lot more credit and people should be watching more. And actually, a lot of people watched it because it was, like, on the main stage at MLG. You know, if this was just, like, a smaller event that was just the U.S. Nationals at a location, I don't know how many people, like, fly in to watch and stuff, right? I mean, they gave them a big stage to play on.
Dan, this is so weird that we're explaining this to you, but the amount of people that flew in to watch the WCS finals, that's not the actual number we're talking about. Like, if you host a separate event, you give these people isolated coverage, isolated attention, it gets documented, it's remembered. If it's sandwiched between a major tournament where Dong Regu is facing off against Alicia, nobody talks about Vibe. Nobody.
Yeah.
And the proof's in the pudding. Like, I'm not making this up. It happened. Nobody
No, I
fucking
guess-
talks about Vibe.
No,
the
they
way
don't.
people remember,
It's-
the way people remember that finals is that shit we had to sit through while we were waiting for DRG and Alicia. I mean, like, yeah, people watched it. That's just because they left the stream open while they went to get dinner before the finals.
MLG
you think-
hyped the KESPA tournament more than they hyped WCS. That Twitter,
Yeah, that's
there
actually
was
true.
so
Yeah.
much masturbation going on for the like. He is like, I'm standing next to fucking J-Dong, and then like the WCS is going on. It's like, and you want to know a literal tweet? It was, "Hey guys, Vibe's a really mannered guy." Or no, he said Daisuke. He's like, Daisuke's a really mannered guy. LOL, he's famous for being a dick online, but it's like, okay, that's what we get from it. Like, Jesus.
That's pretty good hype. This guy's pretty mannered, and he's playing against other Americans. Go watch.
Well, I mean,
That's actually that's quite a compliment. It's a talent to have, to be mannered while playing against Americans, man.
It's a useful one.
to be honest, Lee doesn't follow the scene to know who Daisuke is, but he follows the scene to know who Flash is in his defense. So that's kind of a weird tweet to pull out, Jeff.
I'm just okay. You want me to pull out their 50 tweets?
I
from
mean,
the
to
KESPA
be honest,
going?
hold on. To be honest, no one on MLG staff would actually know who Daisuke is. So
My
just politely
point
say
is
that.
when you blend those two tournaments together, you have MLG overhyping one tournament because
Right.
they care more about it, and
Right.
you have them underhyping another one which they don't care about. That's the problem.
well, would you
Isn't-
argue
isn't
that the well, go ahead, Isaac.
I was just gonna say, like, isn't kind of the point, like, if no one on MLG staff knows who those players are, if it's a separate tournament, then maybe they learn who those players are and they get some of the attention that they deserve.
Right.
I think that's more like the point that Jeff and Greg are making, because, yeah, obviously, I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna try to argue that Daisuke should have more attention than Flash, or Vibe should have more attention than J-Dong, or Alicia, or DRG, or something like that, but I think that it's still a big accomplishment, I mean, to be North American, or, well, American champion, and that should be something that's actually, like, you know, respected and hyped up, and that should be something that's given some attention, in my opinion. So, although I understand the fact that, yeah, maybe the actual stream numbers were higher for WCS because it was connected with MLG, but did anyone care? No, probably not. And if it was its own event, then you know, maybe Vibe gets some more attention that he deserves. He's not going to get as much attention as DRG for winning MLG, sure, but he's going to get some, and I think that's still important.
To be honest, though, like we just suck at giving any like award ceremony or hype or anything after someone wins the tournament. So
I don't know. You hyped up KESPA just fine. That's what we were just talking
yeah,
about.
no, I'm saying that was like the only thing that was we hyped it up going into it.
WCS just the entire time it felt like this annoying thing that was tacked on that MLG felt like they had to deal with. Like the staff didn't know where the brackets were. They didn't know what the schedule was half the time. It was just this thing that was also happening, even to the fans. The fans saw me or Tyler or Illusion or another famous player playing, they would go watch, but they didn't know, like half of them didn't even know WCS was going on there. It got literally zero attention, other than the fact that people had to watch it in order to get through to the matches that they cared about. Like, there was no value in having it there, besides artificial inflation of the stream numbers.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
that's too bad.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
Jeff,
because now I'm thinking of it, like I watched the German WCS, and it was the only thing going on. It was just like German WCS. I watched the shit out of that.
Wasn't that
you know,
really
like,
well produced, by the way?
Yeah, it was a great event, actually, I thought.
Fowler said they had a lot of problems.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Jeff, I know you were trying to talk there for a second. Did you want to add in on anything?
It's just that I guess I'm particularly prickly about this because it's so important. Like, a lot of us were crying that Blizzard wasn't doing enough to support the StarCraft 2 community, and for them to inject this amount of money, fly people out to tournaments, like, I know we were just giving Azael a shit, but he actually won a qualifier to get flown out to this thing that he otherwise wouldn't have gone to, and that's actually really important to him in his career. And I think he actually qualified for the top 16, so he'll be one of the guys playing in that next tournament. But, like, this is really, really important, and that's why MLG, which is constantly held to the highest standard, when they do something where they're given charge over this really important thing, and they don't do everything they can to make it as important. Like, you know what? For fucking honest, like, the NA scene, people shit on it so much, and we have Koreans coming here and qualifying for our NA qualifiers. Right. IPL, it started by saying we're going to make the NA scene huge. They fucking abandoned that after one season. Like, I'm so sick and tired of people hating on the NA scene, but then turning around and not lobbying for our NA-based leagues that could do a huge thing to give the NA players a leg up. And when they don't do that, we're all like, well, you know, Koreans are more fun to watch. It's like, come on, like, there are things that can be done.
Well, and I think that just because people don't give it a chance, like, they're like, oh, well, you know, it's just North American players. Like, they just assume that it can't be interesting games, can't be high-level games, and I don't think that's true. I mean, there's definitely some pretty cool games at GESL from some of the lesser-known players, and I think that I'm sure there was lots of good games in WCS as well. Like, I mean, I was away, so I didn't get to really see any of MLG or WCS, so I can't really comment on that. But I mean, there's good games at every tournament, and you know, although it might not get crazy amount of attention, I'm sure it's definitely frustrating, especially for you, Jeff, and you, Greg, because it's like, you know, like you said, WCG in Brood War, winning that was such a big deal, and now to kind of have it just like as a sideshow or whatever has to be really frustrating.
Yeah,
Did
we
you guys...
did those.
Oh, go ahead,
we
Greg,
did those
sorry.
interviews. We did those interviews for Blizzard going in, and we were talking about how, like, this is kind of the replacement for WCG, which was the world of StarCraft 1 players.
Yeah.
And it's like being built up as the Olympics of gaming. It's a truly international thing. Blizzard's taking a ton of money into it. They're doing really good things for the most part, but then, yeah, it just gets tacked on to this other much bigger event.
Yeah, that's insulting. I understand that.
Did you guys know that MLG gives out a, like, up-and-coming player award?
I actually did not.
Yearly?
Yeah.
They do?
Do we do that yearly?
No. Event. Each event.
Really?
I've never
Up-and-coming player award? I've never heard of this.
Got it.
Yeah, I've never heard
I'm the
of it.
commentator for MLG. I don't know about this.
I fucking
that's
work on
what-
MLG on a day-to-day basis, man. I've never heard of this. Who won the up-and-coming player for Anaheim?
Suppy. Check 6 Suppy.
He was the highest placing American, I think.
Yep.
He got through Killer and a bunch of other Protoss.
Is he the guy that used to have, like, his ID in all caps? It just said Suppy and
He was-
cheese every game?
No. Superior
Well,
Wolf.
Yeah, Superior Wolf from StarCraft 1, Team Liquid. Like,
You want to know what he was previously
Wait,
famous?
Superior Wolf? Was he, like, the little kid on
Yes.
Team Liquid?
Hang on,
That's Suppy?
Dan. Hang on. Get ready for this story. Way back when we did Team Liquid Attack, I did the first Team Liquid Attack. I played against him, and he was like 9 years old at the time. I played Protos on Blue Storm, and he played Zerg. And I Cannon Rush, which is actually at this, you know, to this day, that's like pretty fucking fortuitous. And he actually ran to each cannon and killed him without sight of him because his friends were on Skype telling him about it, which was fine because it was just like a for fun event. We were all laughing about it. But then he did a commentary on it and uploaded it to YouTube with his 9-year-old voice going and like, now I run to the next cannon, you know, because like that's where the next one is. And then he would later grow up to be like a 6-foot-tall Asian kid that's really fucking good at StarCraft.
Huh.
Interesting.
I'm trying to find... Where did you see that, Jeff? The
The
Rising Star thing.
I saw it on Twitter. There's a couple posts on Team Liquid. Like,
Okay.
I did an interview thing with him on with the VVV show, and he talked about it.
Well, cool. Congratulations on winning that award that I didn't even know existed.
I think Illusion got it before that too.
Okay.
No, really? He never had a big MLG. His cool run was through
No, that's not true at all. He did have a big MLG.
Yeah, I think he did.
He
Didn't he
was
have,
like
like,
one
winner?
of the only guys to make it in the championship bracket that wasn't a Korean.
Yeah.
At
He is
the
a
last MLG. Well, he's Korean American. Doesn't count as much, I guess. If they take you from the motherland, like you start to lose your power or something like that. Like,
Depends on what age you leave at. There's like a cutoff. MLG actually has it in their rules.
There you go. There you go. KESPA event. I mean, do you guys have any words on that? I don't know how much we can really talk about. The
Really.
games were less than.
I thought that
interesting.
Soul Key Flash was pretty fun. Other than that, a lot of the play was a bit underwhelming. Flash looked pretty good.
Yeah.
But like
Flash did look
watching
quite
Stork and Bisu at times was difficult. And when Jaedong attacked with 13 queens, he broke my heart.
I'd like to point out that the fact that the two Protoss players are the disappointing ones confirms me and Dan's theory from StarCraft 1 that Protoss players weren't talented, and they just won because they were Protoss. So, bring that back.
That's true in StarCraft 1.
Yep. But yeah, Flash looked pretty good. I saw an interview with Leenock, and he said he thought all of the KESPA players were Masters League at best on Korea, which is interesting. I thought Flash looked better than that.
Yeah. The most of them are like high masters on the ladder.
I thought Flash looked like Grandmaster at least. He looked legitimately
Yeah. No, there are Grandmaster players, and I heard that Stork was like really, really good, and he didn't.
You told me
look
that
good.
all along.
Yeah, you told us that. You
Not
hyped
true.
everyone up like,
No,
guys, Stark is going to win this event.
Well, it was supposed to be him or Solky. I don't know, man. He didn't play well or whatever, but like
That's weird.
from what I've heard,
Dan
he's
hyped
actually a high Grandmaster on the Korean server.
Interesting.
So
Interesting. Well,
we'll see. Their games in Pro League are
let's. We talked about GSL Kodas a little bit. You guys were talking about last night's games.
totally crazy. Totally crazy, JP McDaniels.
Totally. Was there anything else, Dan, in terms of the other groups that you want to talk about? How was Group B with Nesty and Naniwal? I didn't even see those. Did they play each other?
Watched them. No, they didn't.
I
Nesty
forgot that happened.
Got right out of the group, and then Nanowalk came up after losing his first round to Creator. I mean, it was a fine group.
Genius wins his group. MVP gets second. It's pretty.
Oh, Genius crushed that. It was actually like silly looking.
Doesn't he do that like every round of 32?
Yeah, man. Genius like just never leaves. He's always there.
Yeah.
Well, hang on. Before we move too much further past MLG, I wanted to say, Dan, did you catch Day 9 doing the Blizzard thing where he commentated the HOTS? And
Yeah.
he's going to be on the DVD on the inside of that box. He's going to be on the box for Heart of the Storm. That's pretty cool.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
It's cool.
He's gonna be on the box for Heart of the Swarm? Like the game comes in?
Well, yeah, Greg, they're going to put the King of StarCraft on the fucking box, man.
I can't tell where the troll ends. What?
I was just pointing out to Dan that Sean's going to be on the Heart of the Storm.
Whatever, man. That's good. I guess, like, good for him. I'm happy. So back to Code F. Yeah.
Oh,
Right. So.
Dan's so bad right now.
I'm not. I'm just like, well. Right, man. Like that's like a really weird troll, but I'm happy for Sean. I'm glad he's going to be in the box. But I download the digital copy because I live in Korea, so I guess I just won't have that box. I don't know.
You don't have to protest.
That's right. If I ever need his autograph, I'm going to have him sign a JP McDaniel drawing anyways.
That's what I'll
Just like happened to Mr. Bitter. It's like
Yeah.
the funniest thing that ever happened
It's
in
the
the whole
best
world.
thing ever. Kodas, Dan.
Okay.
Now that we've pissed you off.
Only 2 Zergs have gotten through so far.
Nesty and Symbol, yeah.
But like the
No.
Zergs who played Curious and Sniper. Actually, I guess Sniper was looking.
Curious
good.
is good, and Sniper was looking good. Suishin did not look good, though.
I don't really think Curious is that good. I don't know. He's never. Besides that one run.
He's
through
good.
One
The
that
problem
TSL
is
He's very
the most
unspecial.
boring-
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the most boring Zerg in the entire universe.
Suisin's actually one of those Zergs who had really good GSL runs. Did he not look good? I didn't see those games.
No, that was some of the worst play I've ever seen. It was so funny because he opened up like roaches with drop when MVP was going mech on an Atlantis spaceship, and I was like, guys, this is so good. We always see Zergs do stupid things like make 12 mutas and then just lose them and then die to mech.
No,
But
Roach
this
Drop
is
is
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he crushed MVP in the first game, and I was like, guys, I think he might get out of the group. This is amazing. He's playing so well. He really understands this. He's been in GSL forever. He gets, that you can use some of these older unit compositions against mech and stuff like that. And then he proceeded every single game to go roaches with drops, like against Bio and stuff, on 3 bases and just all in with it. And I was like, oh,
Those
I'm so
Xanax
sorry.
The Xenex Zergs are really, really quirky. I can't tell half the time if they're either genius or retarded.
I think I figured it out though. Actually, the thing is that I think what's happening is they're actually good and they're playing in kind of a weird way, and it's crushing their practice partners. But their practice partners are not top of the world. So when they hit top of the world people, those people are like, what are you? There's a reason people don't really play like this. Like you can't go red drops against Terran.
Is Freaky
Freaky's in it so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, can we talk about the mass infestor drop with +1 attack for infested Terrans? And I don't think we ever addressed that.
Wait,
he actually just makes infestors in all 3 matches.
Have you not seen that, Dan?
It's so cool.
I haven't caught all the GSTL yet.
Yeah, Freaky, all of his GSTL games, every single one versus every single race, he just goes mass infestor with drop harass and like turtles and goes pure infestor, like 30 or 40 infestors.
It's
Dude,
like
one
he
game
made
didn't
a
get,
bet
like,
with someone
50+
and
or
is
something?
fucking determined to do it on the biggest stage on the planet. Like, bet you can't only go in infestors and win games. Like, you're fucking on.
He just keeps doing it.
Sick bet to take right there.
Dude, even if it's not good, it's actually so fun to watch though. Like he's like dropping infestors everywhere, like throwing down infested Terrans in like every mineral line. It's so cool.
Yeah, Zerg doesn't really have a way to stop drops that quickly. Like
Yeah, in ZBZ, I think it's awesome.
then he just drops down a bunch of infestors, and all of a sudden there's 36 infested Terrans shooting down your lair, and all he spent was mana, maybe 4 infestors. It's actually really cool.
Yeah, it was.
Awesome.
I mean, I think it's like crazy scary though when you have that many infestors, and it's like if all your infestors get fungled, then like guess what? You just lost. I mean, you lose 30 infestors with gas, so you're kind of fucked. But I mean, when it goes well, it looks pretty badass.
The funny part is people like don't hard counter it, and he did it 7 or 8 games in a row.
I know.
Like,
That was the most disturbing part.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. I was having this like I was just roiling in pain because there's like all across the forums there's people like StarCraft Korean coaches are so oh my god they're so important and then I kept watching Freaky open up every GSTL going mass infestor and like winning 2 or 3 games, and I'm like, each of these teams' coaches are losing. They need to go to their player and say, oh, you're playing Freaky? He actually only makes infestors, and when the player's done laughing, you death stare the guy and say, he only makes infestors. Yes.
Historically in Korea, for coaches, there's like 3 types. There's the type that really understands the game and really knows what they're doing. For instance, the TSL head coach, that's Oops Lee. He's an old pro gamer. He gets it. You know, he can actually help the players in a way like that. Yeah. And then there's the coach that's actually a manager. They're called a coach, but they're actually just taking care of the players. And they have like the team captain help the players out more. And then there's the coach that thinks he knows about the game, but doesn't know shit all and makes terrible choices.
You're forgetting
and, like,
the fourth
tries to. What's the 4th category?
They sit around and play Minesweeper all day and like don't actually interact.
There's that one too. There's all
that one.
sorts
That's
of
the
different
important one.
coach categories in Korea. So
That's true.
I mean, it's yeah. But I mean, wait. Before we jump into GSL, I want to talk about Thorzane for 1 second in Group C. He flew in from MLG.
Yeah.
Landed, played his match, and got on a plane to DreamHack.
Yeah.
That's too much.
He said on
I'm
Twitter
just saying
that,
it's too much.
Didn't he say on Twitter that he was just like exhausted? That's why he played so bad in DreamHack?
It's absolutely amazing he actually won a match in GSL. Like, when we heard about that, we told him it was crazy, but he actually secured a spot in up and downs with it, so good on him.
Like, I was even talking to him before his matches, and he was telling me how he was literally falling asleep, like, one... Like,
yeah.
He got to the Slayer's house, and because of some miscommunication was locked out, actually.
Poor guy.
Oh, he actually left for his flight to DreamHack a day early, actually. Like, there was some kind of miscommunication. He packed up all his shit, went to the airport in Korea, then found out that his flight wasn't until the next day, so then he went back to the Slayer's house for like a night.
Oh my god!
He just had the worst week any person.
Oh my god, that is
still beat the rag Terran.
It is a trek to that airport too. Oh my
god! He actually looked good against Gumiho, man. Like, I mean, I know he kind of got bopped by Squirtle, but he looked really good against Gumiho. I thought, some cool builds, and the Mass Raven thing late game was really cool. Like, I mean, the opening he used, just like all the naked racks, the Marines, he controlled it really well. I thought like he looked really good in all his games, and I mean, to be fair, Squirtle's kind of a monster, and like his force fields in some of those pushes were actually ridiculous.
Yep. That's why it was really weird when Squirtle lost to the other Terran and was like
Well,
Yeah.
it was
There was
2 double proxy raxes in a row.
Yeah.
Wasn't it
So, yeah, that's
It
Keen.
was Keen.
Keen does weird shit. That happens.
Yeah, he does. But you know what? This guy, like, he gets a disproportionate amount of results, like, for how good he is at the time. He does keep getting better, but he,
Who is
like,
this?
no matter how good he is, he performs above there,
Oh.
no matter what,
Keen?
like, always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know
Well,
you're
he
making yourself a mortal enemy of Kaldor right now, right?
No, Kaldor's
Kaldor loves Keen, man. Loves
I
Keen.
love
anymore.
Keen.
because their
Dan.
names both start with K.
Exactly.
That's pretty weak to form a friendship on.
Is that it, man?
No, the reason you should like Keen is because of that one ceremony he did where he was like he put his hands out and
Oh,
clapped.
I actually love him because of that.
That was the best like acting in a ceremony. The thing where he like put his hands out like this. and
Yeah,
then
claps.
Oh,
And
yeah.
after winning.
I didn't see it.
It's like an epic meme.
It's
now.
like the best execution of a ceremony I've seen from a Korean. Usually it's awkward as shit and I just want to cringe. But that was
Oh yeah.
I want to hit on the... I mean, Greg, you were talking about how there's so many matches to play at the MLG events now with the other event on the weekend, and Thorzane traveling back-to-back, Dan saying it's too much. Is something like a players' union something that could solve that? I mean...
It's something that's been discussed. I think is just kind of impractical at this point. Like if you look, I think we've actually talked about this on here or inside the game before. If you look at the players, like some of the most influential people, like you'd have to put Stefano and Naniwa and me and Huck and Jeff up there, and we're all really stubborn, obstinate, and kind of hard to work with. So like actually making a player union,
Jeff's like, what are you doing, Greg? Why are you
I mostly agree with that, yeah.
it's pretty true.
80% of that is
hard,
correct.
Not hard to work with, but
That is a sick gift, man. I'm a total fan of Keen right now.
yeah.
I just have to
Yeah.
interrupt.
Isn't it badass?
That's badass.
Yeah.
Usually I hate corny ceremonies, but that one was good. But no, just like the practicalities of actually forming a player union with this group of people. Like who do you have run it? How do you get everyone to actually cooperate? Like you can get Stefano and Naniwa to do something right up into the point where it stops benefiting them directly in a way that they can see, and then they're out. But I don't think it can actually happen at this point. It'd be good though.
Well, I mean, it could be a good idea at some point, but why do you need a players union to not go to every single event? Like,
Well,
just cut down the events a little bit.
Well, situations like this, WCS and MLG, like you can't really.
Yeah.
It's a big North American player. It hurts you.
Yeah, but there's so many events right now. Like, there's literally at least one huge event a month. And, like, for instance, Tyler decided, okay, I'm only going to do one of these. I thought that and it sucks to miss one, but it seems like that's the right thing to do in a situation like that. Because, like,
Wasn't Huck
in a month that's...
Wasn't Huck the first foreigner to kind of figure that out last year when he was just going to so many tournaments back to back?
He went to so many tournaments back to back. It was actually insane. But, like, for instance, there was MLG then DreamHack. Like, you don't need to choose both of them. They're weekend back to weekend. You're going to miss one of these giant, awesome events for the community. Same thing should have been the choice for maybe some people, and maybe it will be in the future, for the MLG WCS. It's like, do you really do both of these and put yourself through that?
Yeah.
By the way, it's worth noting, kind of on this subject, Adam Apicella just tweeted, lots of discussion today about floor plans and how to better accommodate players, whether still in the event or knocked out, hoping to roll out some great tweaks for Raleigh, which is a little... I mean, on the one hand, credit where credit's due, good on MLG to respond actively to kind of the storm of complaints about that following Anaheim, and B, we're talking about player unions. While nothing necessarily is going to get organized for a time being, just because of the time constraints, and like Greg said, it's hard to organize. Let's not. I mean, there's a few examples here. Greg publicly saying that ESL is doing a shit job of paying him money, got things done. Making a thread on Reddit and talking about player accommodations for myself as well as others. I guess the smiley guy could be rolled in there as well. That's getting MLG to draw attention to, okay, maybe we need to change things about this. So right now, it's like the public platform is where you kind of do those things.
Did Jeff, or I guess for IdrA as well, did you guys ever go to the Twitch TV area in Anaheim?
I didn't know it existed. Like no one told me about it.
Yeah, I mean, I never saw anyone over there. It was like a pro player lounge or something. But I think all that happened
I heard it was
like
tiny space and kind of shitty.
all I know is like all the VIPs just hung out there, and none of the players were ever in there. So I don't even know if they knew about it. That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
No one told us about it, at least.
Well,
Well, we wouldn't have had time to go over there anyway.
yeah.
One of the times back when I was in pool play, so I guess this was last year, they've always had VIPs/players in the player lounge, and I looked up from my computer where I was practicing, and there was like 40 people that were roughly the ages between like 40 and 60 in business suits and stuff, drinking booze.
Nice.
And I was like, this is not really a player's lounge at all. This is like the strange old people hangout.
Yeah. All right. I was just curious to see if you guys want.
Jeff, that was the players' lounge. Me and White Raw were in there drinking.
There you go.
Run, DJ Wheat.
That'd be true if I jumpsuits, because then White Raw would be included. But
The other question, Dan, I don't know if you saw this or if anyone actually watched this. GSTL's been going on. How is Wani doing? He's coaching over there, isn't he?
Yeah, he's killing it, man, because he's putting out his players in good order. There's there's actually this funny thing that goes on where some players actually have huge egos and don't want to be messed around in the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, the rules are basically you put out your starter, and then when you see who they have, you choose the next person in the map if you lose, and both teams submit that. Now, let's say that player from Team A beats player from Team B, then now Team B's new player map comes out, and now they both reset it. They both choose again if their player loses who comes out in the map. Now some teams will just submit a list. Some they can always. The thing is, some players don't like to be moved. Is what I'm trying to get at. There are some players that have big egos and don't want to be moved, and it's difficult to move them. And there's some teams that they'll move around and do whatever it takes to win. Be like, okay, this guy's weak against pros. We're going to switch this up. Go unplug your keyboard and mouse. Go uninstall your drivers. You go in there and set that up. And that's something that Juani's team's doing, and I think more and more teams will do it over time. But he's killing it, man. He's putting out great orders for his players, and they're actually delivering because they're good.
Yeah, Fnatic ended up beating Prime the other day. That was on the 15th. And then NSOSO beat StarTel. And then coming up on the 22nd, 23rd is Slayers EG against MVP, and then TSL against FX Open. Who do you guys think has the best chance of winning this?
Players EG, obviously.
Yeah,
clearly.
I mean, we've got 3D on the show,
close, right?
so it's going to be them.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God.
It's going to be a clean sweep.
All right, anyways.
Jeff's just actually smiling. We can't see it right now on webcam.
I don't know. I think Prime, StarTale, TSL all have really good shots. Because, I mean, they all have, insanely good lineups right now. And Symbol's so good, it's just scary. That guy might just carry TSL all the way.
Sorry. People are wanting me to mention Moon going on the sick run.
He played well.
Against Prime, yeah,
He
taking
played
out
well.
Anyang, Ghost King, and then Marine King, losing to Creator right after that. Jesus,
That
was 5-4. Go ahead, Dan.
I loved his game on Entombed. I thought he played really well. I loved the Baneling Landmines. He was really on top of things. It was a slightly different Zerg flavor than we normally get. It was really cool, though. I'm so glad to see him doing well. Kid is quick.
I thought it was... Go ahead.
Everyone's been talking about him as a practice beast since back in the We Made house, so it's interesting to see it show through again.
Huh.
I don't know. He definitely plays a different style. That's what he was kind of famous for in War 3. He re-revolutionized Night Elf, I think, or whatever race he played. So he's the kind of player. He's the kind of player who will look at a game and figure out his own way to approach it. And so that's finally coming to fruition, and he has his own new little take on things. That's the kind of play that's really interesting to see.
They called him the fifth race or whatever in Warcraft 3.
Yep.
And during the beta, the Koreans started calling Greg Zerg with 2 Z's, which means the best. And then they switched it over to Fruit Dealer, and he got known for it. It was so sad. It was so sad. It was Greg first, so he was the first.
No one ever knew about it. Yeah.
No one ever knew, man.
No one.
No one remembers either, and they never will, except for I just said that. You're welcome.
How many viewers do you have right now? This is very important.
We're at 8.5. So 8.5 thousand people know it.
Right now. They're going to forget about 5
Greg
minutes.
was hit before Fruit Dealer, guys. Sorry.
There you go.
Sorry to you guys.
The other news before we get to the final
And Greg
topic.
doesn't have a WoW character, unfortunately. Actually, yeah, he does. He's that big dragon that destroyed the world. Is that thing?
He's just angry as shit.
Greg doesn't believe in dragons.
I'm sure Isaac knows, so.
Yeah,
This is a
Isaac knows.
comment.
Very Isaac.
No comment.
No?
Isaac, did you get a character?
What? In WoW? No.
Yeah. What's the tallest of the skeleton guys?
What?
Nyokin?
Isn't there a skeleton race?
Nah, Isaac's taller than Nyokin.
No!
And more skeleton-y.
Nyokin got so tall.
I think...
What do you mean he got so tall? When was the last time you saw that kid?
I don't know, way long ago, but he was
Yeah, I
like way
know.
taller than when I first met him.
He stopped growing, my friend.
Did he? Oh, no way! He stopped growing?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that happened.
Sick. I'm excited to talk about Nyokin, guys.
You should be. He's fucking awesome.
I never knew the guy. Before we move away from
Love
GSL,
JD.
do want to mention Nada announced, or Complexity announced on Nada's behalf today that he's going to be going and taking his army absence, whatever you call it. So, do you guys actually have any thoughts about that? I don't know why people want us to talk about it so much.
I haven't seen him play in like 6 months.
Yeah.
He retired in my head 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I mean, he played a couple times. He was playing like every week on the Masters Cup for Complexity, but you could tell he wasn't really practicing. Like him and Killer both, honestly. Like you could tell they weren't really practicing. I mean, I kind of feel a bit bad for Complexity because they pick up, Killer and they pick up Nada and like they get this sick like all Korean lineup and everything. And they have Gonzi and Hart obviously who are still doing well, but it was kind of like a little bit sad for me because like I've been a big Nada fan for a long time, just to kind of see him playing and just like not really showing good games and losing kind of random people and stuff like that. And I don't know. I think everyone's kind of expected it for a while.
Dan, got any thoughts?
He was almost doing it for a while in StarCraft 2. It's sad he couldn't come back to his former glory, but people lose motivation. And when you're Nada and you already played StarCraft 1 and you already won everything under the sun for a really long time and have like every record in the world, it's hard to come into StarCraft 2 and keep like the insane motivation that you had in StarCraft 1 because it's like you have to dedicate your entire life, every waking moment, to guarantee yourself if you're Nada.
I want to echo.
Yeah.
I want to echo what Dan's saying. Like, it's really difficult to get paid thousands of dollars just to show up to places and like having teams fly you around the world and just even though you're not winning anything, just to be who you were 10 years ago. And it's just
like
it's really hard on Nada. It's
getting
really
top
hard.
4 in GSL without practicing at all.
Yeah, that was like
That's
that
a
was some
hard
of the most
life.
difficult.
You guys
stuff
like
that
didn't let me finish what I was saying. It's pretty cool. You interrupt me and like. It's pretty
I'm
neat,
sorry,
guys.
Dan.
Thanks,
I'm sorry,
guys.
Dan.
Dan, would you like to finish?
Like, the thing is, he could have done what he did, right? But you have to, like, yeah, he was getting top 4 and stayed in GSL Codas for a long time and stuff like that, but you have to make sure that you continue to do what you used to, like win all the time. Nada would have to be playing insane hours every day. And when he gets older and he already has a lot of money, he already has a lot of fame, he's already kind of proven himself and done it, he just doesn't have the drive to keep on going with that.
Yeah.
And that is the truth.
Does he actually like have a lot of money? Because like in that retirement post thing, he was talking about like he was citing financial problems as one of the reasons that he's leaving pro gaming.
Well,
Like, I don't know
his
if
salary
that's
for
the thing.
years was like $200,000 a year, and he won a ton of prize money. So, I mean, unless he gave all that money to his parents, which definitely could happen because he is Korean, and their family kind of shares the money. No, that's Koreans
I agree.
give the money to parents, and then it's like Korean families. A lot of them have like a lot of money saved up. They're like safe through thick and thin or whatever. I don't know, but he's made a ton of money in his career.
I like.
It was
actual-
weird that got mentioned, though, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
if
that's
I
true.
gave all my money to my family, I don't then later mention, for one of the reasons that I'm retiring, that I'm poor. Like, that's...
Yeah,
Nada
it's
was one of the names dropped about in StarCraft 2 as a guy who actually was getting paid, like, tens of thousands of dollars just to show up to tournaments or events in Korea. He was making money from his name.
Yeah, Isaac just posted, the actual quote says, due to my financial difficulty, current poor state of health, pending military issues, as well as some family issues. So his life just fucking sucks right now, apparently, according to this post. It's too difficult for him to move on, so...
They're dragging his gimp poor, like, procrastinating military, like...
Feel kind of sorry for Nada after that.
Yeah.
It was sad. That's what I'm saying. It was,
Do you know what's
it
weird
gave
though
a
is
weird vibe.
there was like people were telling me that he was like doing he was in some like League of Legends commercial or something like that, where he's like talking about like how much he loves the game and how like apparently he's just like playing League of Legends all day.
This is why Jeff hates it so much, guys.
So it's like, I mean, you know, is that stuff really true, or is he just bored of the game?
It was weird. He was very public about. He'd like do this random tweet like, I like League of Legends. It's like, no, Nada, no, like Nada actually. Greg and Dan haven't said this, but he was like their inspiration. He was actually one of the guys.
I was a Zerg player in Starcraft 1, and I literally learned how to play Terran and switch races through watching this replay pack of him.
Nada was the only player that in Starcraft 1, like, you guys think the race divides are big in Starcraft 2. Oh, no, we're all best friends. In Starcraft 1, man, you vehemently hated the other races. And Nada was the only player that everyone unanimously respected and was one of their favorites. It didn't matter if you were Terran, Protos, or Zerg. You loved Nada and respected him because he was that good. There was nothing bad about him.
Kind of in that same note, SKMC tweeted today, Nada's my hero, but he quit pro gaming now. I'm so sad. Fuck Korea Army system. So even MC's a little bit ticked off about this. Is that going to be like national news over there, Dan? Or not national news, but is that going to be big news?
Well, it would have been national news if he was still playing StarCraft.
Yeah.
But
Boxer, right? If Boxer did it?
When Boxer did it, there was like TV shows on it and stuff, like specials, and they actually tried to get him one of the
team for him.
Top athletes. Yeah, they actually made Air Force team for Boxer so he could continue. Like, that's literally because of him. Like, they actually try to get him the exemption that they have for, if you get like a medal in the Asia Games or the Olympics, and you're a Korean, you get to skip your Army service.
Really?
And they actually tried to get that for Boxer because he won 2 WCGs, but it didn't go through, so they made the Air Force team for him.
That's pretty crazy.
How big he was right then. It's like insane.
Isn't that awesome? That's
insane.
It's so cool that Korea has a built-in military service that they recognize as so shitty that it's actually an award to skip.
That's true. That's true. All right, we got one last thing to talk about, and that is the Heart of the Swarm update that was at in Anaheim, California. So we'll start off with Protos. Let's see, they got the Tempest. It was there, of course, but they changed it. It's now a new capital ship that can be fired at both ground and air targets from long range, doing additional damage to massive units.
Not long range, 22 range.
Hold on, but that's a further range.
22 range.
Hold on.
That's after the upgrade.
That's a range upgrade, Greg. God.
Okay.
So
only has
change because of the Tempest, real quick.
wait, what?
Axlav is going to have to start playing with a widescreen.
So it starts at 10 range, then increases to 22. All right, now you guys can talk about it. It has relatively low DPS to balance it out. I don't know what the damage was on it, but
hang on.
Does DPS even matter? Like when it's that long?
I played all
It's
the.
really like a positional tactical thing.
you guys gotta let
I
Jeff talk,
I
man.
made all the units. Okay, I got a sample, and then I did an interview with Blizzard. Actually, it was kind of cool. But let me say this, since we're talking about the Tempest right now.
Yeah.
The weird thing about it for me is that it's actually a really fast ship. It's a really fast ship, so you can actually like kite the fuck out of it, even though it has attack speed of 6, I think, which is ridiculously slow. If you ever get like 10 of them, it'll turn into a kind of game that I think Greg would actually retire from, because you'd be getting hit by this damage. I think it was 66 versus massive.
Oh my god.
You're getting for 660 damage, and you'll never see them. You'll never actually get near them because they'll be like, they'll shoot you, and then they should actually have like a sound that goes along them, which is like a child snickering. It's like, and they'll just like punch it away. It was really dumb. And the thing about them is that yes, they're expensive. Yes, they're a capital ship. Yes, their attack rate is slow. So it's either you have a shit ton of them and you're invincible, or you're that guy that got caught with his pants down and you only have 3 of them and they're fucking terrible and stupid.
Yeah.
Are you talking like Void Ray fast, or are you talking Phoenix fast?
No, okay.
Void Ray, okay.
Now they're a little bit. They
now,
seemed
guys.
a little bit slower than Void Rays when I was watching the videos, but
Yeah.
If it was Dan, it's not by much, to be honest with
yeah, no, they were reasonably fast, and it's actually so funny because when I first saw it and heard about it and stuff, I was like casting, so I was only getting snippets. I was like, oh my god, range 10, because I knew they were going to give a really long-ranged air unit, so because they want to take out Vortex, and you're going to need something like that to be able to actually play fairly against Broodlord at Corruptor. I'm like, oh my god, 10 range, I didn't think it would be that much, that's insane. And then someone mentioned something about 22 range, I'm like, oh, how much mana does it cost to cast that, you know? And then it was an upgrade, and I smiled, and I was like, alright. I'm gonna go cannon this thing. Like, imagine Entombed, I like cannon fast expand into this, and just push cannons towards the other bases. Sickest strategy ever.
Well, there's a couple other things too. I guess we'll just go like race by race. But Protos starts off with a mini mothership for 100 minerals, 50 gas that you make off of just Nexus.
Yeah, the mothership.
And it has 3 abilities. Well,
four
it starts off with 4
so
abilities.
good.
It either can teleport to another Nexus, where it then can do things like, for I think it's like 25 energy or 50 or something like that. It recharges something's energy up to 100.
Yep.
So 4 gates,
stores of any target unit or structure.
Templar. 4 gates, Templar, all that kind of stuff. Mothership, the actual mothership. Actually, I don't know if it can do that. No, probably not. Then it also has the ability at 75 energy, I think it was, to turn into a range 13 planetary fortress.
Yep, that's Purify. Long range.
That shoots air as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Doesn't say, but I would assume so, yeah.
It might. And then I think at Fleet Beacon you can actually make the mothership itself, which now only stasis units. It doesn't.
But you also have mass recall.
Vortex is only ground.
Yeah,
I think.
but you also
Only
have mass
ground.
recall in the mothership core. Don't forget that, Jeff.
Oh
There's
yeah,
no
mass
cloak
recall.
either, right?
Do
No,
what?
on the not on the mini one, but on the.
Yeah, on the big one
I don't know.
there's on the big one. So on the big one there is the passive field cloaking is gone, and that's now on the Oracle. The mothership retains its recall ability, and also has stasis, which puts the mothership and all air units around it into a stasis for 20 seconds, and also has vortex, but that's only ground.
Yeah.
Seems like the recall in the Nexus thing would just be ridiculous, though, unless I'm
It
like
does.
not understanding it, because it's like you could just do like any sort of like 6 gate thing, and you just like run in, kill a base, recall out, like doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, absolutely, but here's what we have to remember. Every single thing they're putting into Heart of the
Seems
Storm is in
ridiculous.
balance for every race. So you
Yeah,
need
that's
this to
true.
counteract what we're going to talk about in a minute.
The Oracle was. I mean, I don't know what part of this is going to stay in, like Dan just said, but right now it's a mini arbiter for energy, as if that's going to do anything to make it less
does it cost
amazing.
energy for the
It does.
cloak field? Okay.
It does cost energy. It then has this ability where you can see what's being built on a building. Fucking stupid, because you're going to use all your mana blocking crystals all game long. It's really fast. It buzzes in. It's not too terribly expensive. It's not really cheap, though. I think it was 200 gas, if I'm not mistaken. And it just runs in and it freezes all the minerals, and you have to kill that.
Yeah.
And that's what I'll just do all the time. And
How much HP does the little blocks have, though? Can you just like
it
have,
takes a
you just have,
couple
like,
seconds for the
like a cannon
drones
or a
to kill it.
bunker, and it just like kills it as it happens?
That's what they were doing in that the battle report things they did. That's what the players had in their lines. But it still took a good 5 seconds at best. to
shuts
take them
down
out.
mining time 4 mana, and if you don't have that bunker or planetary fortress, it shuts it down indefinitely until you get something over.
Yeah, that's really obnoxious.
Pretty awesome.
They have 75 HP. Thank you, chat.
That's actually quite a bit.
Bunch of little TLOs in the chat, man. Christ.
No, Axlav. Axlav actually knows every number in the game. It's ridiculous talking to him.
TLO,
we
every
need to
member
play
in the
like
game
Jeopardy
in the
with
beta,
TLO and Axlav, yeah. Starcraft
Oh.
Jeopardy. I wonder who would win.
Yep.
So yeah, is that it for Protoss? The Mothership Core, Oracle, and Tempest.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since we don't have a Terran on the show, we obviously can't talk about it, guys.
No, let's just skip it on. Yep, move along.
Let's just skip it. Move on to
Actually,
the
if we could get a Velo on here. I want you guys...
God,
I'd actually do that. Can we do that real quick?
No.
I think that's a poor idea.
Don't worry, guys. I play
Alright.
random.
I don't
Let
think
it be
he's
known.
big enough
I
to-
tried. I tried to get a
Wait,
Terran
so-
on the show. I'm the hero.
You are the hero. All right. The Warhound thing. That's the Goliath thing, right?
That's the
All right,
anti-mech
so
missile thing.
The anti-mech Goliath, yeah.
you know what I do not like about this?
that?
Can you target that anti-mech missile, or does it just fire?
I don't know.
I think you can either target it or you can put it on autocast, I believe.
Okay. Well, because if it's autocast and it has a pattern it goes in, okay. When I was watching the battle report, it's like, is this random? Because if it's random, that's bad.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm sure the autocast is just like the first mech unit that comes with every
Okay.
merch.
All right. So
it's independent as well of the Warhound's normal attack that needs to be saved.
yeah, I saw that. That's well, that's weird.
The one interesting thing, or most interesting thing for Terran, of course, is the Widow Mine. So the Widow
It
Mine
takes a long time to blow up, though.
Yeah,
It
let me
does.
just
It's never
read
gonna
this.
do
Let me read the description, then you guys can go crazy. The Widow Mine's the new suicide unit built from the factory that allows, it's just a unit that you build. It's not from any other unit. That allows the Terran to control areas of the battlefield. The Widow Mine moves into position and sets into stationary mode, which burrows and activates when an enemy air or ground unit moves into range. It also hits observers, guys. That happened when I played, so that's a little bit crazy. Briefly flashes before moving and attacking itself to that unit. After several seconds, they don't have the actual thing. We'll see.
I think it's like 10 seconds. It's a long time.
It was a while, yeah. There's also a little counter. It does
Yeah.
200 damage to the unit and a smaller
I'll
amount
tell
of
you,
damage
as
to
you
units
play
around
with
the
it,
surrounding area.
it absolutely is a long time. Like the only thing that this functions as, which I actually think is kind of cool, is the second your thing gets grabbed, you'd have to be a fucking idiot or doing something else or not seeing it.
Yeah.
You can't not
Well,
see
the
it.
icon's massive, too.
Yeah.
To
No,
not spell
I
out
just
or
mean like
whatever.
you're looking somewhere else. I don't mean like
Okay.
you're looking at it and don't see it. So you can run it at your opponent or you separate it from your army. That's the way it's used.
Well, apparently, I was talking to BC Cutie at the LAN. He was talking about it, saying how like you can actually just kill your own unit that has it, and it just goes away. So like against Zerg and everything, he was saying like you just like send Zerglings around or whatever, you pick them up, and then you just kill the Zergling, and then the mine's gone.
Can
Does it
you
do
target
friendly
the mine?
damage?
No, I don't think you can. I don't know if you can target the mine, but apparently you can just kill the unit that the mine attaches to, and then
Yeah,
it just goes
no.
away.
Well, I don't
which
mean
makes
no.
it a
I
joke.
mean, if I lay a mine, can I
And you have
tell
an
what
observer
the
and
mine
kill it?
what to? No. Can I
Oh.
tell the mine what to attach to?
I think I thought it was just like once it burrows, I thought it just went on
I don't
the
know if you
closest
can,
thing.
damn. It might
Can
just
you
be closest
unfurl
thing.
it? Like,
Yeah,
Because
you
it's
can
going to
unfurl it
break
and
2
move
versus
it.
2 otherwise. You just connect his Zerglings and run into their base with them.
You can definitely move it, Greg, once it's burrowed.
okay.
Jeff, you've been kind of quiet on this. What are your thoughts on it?
For the mine or just the new units for Terran?
The mine. Well, I mean, new units, too. There's nothing really
I
new
think-
in the unit thing.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the mine's concerned, like, I think they heard a lot of people getting really excited or talking with almost a sense of nostalgia about the Vulture mine, the Spider mine, which is really, really cool. It was an amazing part of the game. And as far as this is concerned, I'm sure I think there's possibilities that it'll be really cool. Building it inexpensively from the factory bleeds into my greater issue, which is that all the new stuff that Terran's getting is all mech. So they're basically like screaming and demanding that mech becomes not only more viable, but perhaps like overly viable, so that there's actually less of a reason to go bio. Like Battle Hellions, absolutely fantastic against Zerglings, Banelings, and Zealots. Warhounds, I'm glad they took the anti-air away from them, because before that it was stupid, but even as it is now, they have a passive spell that does 30 damage to mechanical units, which is an alternate attack at the same time as their normal attack, which is already a really good range, high DPS, strong ground attack. And then
Wait, what were you just talking about?
they have this like missile that shoots out of their back passively.
Yeah, yeah.
It costs, I think it's on a timer, or it costs mana. I
I
can't
think
remember
it's
which
just
it
a
is.
timer. It might be both.
Might be a
but-
timer. Does 30 damage to mechanical, so like everything Protos, nothing Zerg, and some things Terran. It's got a really good range on it too. It does not hit air, which is good, and the Warhound itself doesn't hit air actually, which it used to have an anti-air attack, and they were like, well, it doesn't do that much damage. Yeah, but that's still fucking stupid.
Were Thor still in the game?
Yes,
Yeah,
as far as I could tell.
Thor is the exact same.
Okay.
The only unit
Can't you only build one? It's like
they
the
took
mothership.
out was
No, they abandoned that. They abandoned that.
Oh,
What's
So
that?
they
Dan?
made the Reaper a lot better, by the way. That was actually one of my favorite changes for Terran.
yeah, that's cool. It's like not even a unit now.
What? Yeah, it is.
No, I'm saying I mean like in the game now, like no one uses it. Like it's. Just
Oh
useless.
yeah, it's so rare, but like
Yeah, they were.
you know, the thing is, the first time the Reaper goes in, it's kind of cool, right? You'll kill like a
Yeah.
probe or two, and then get
Yeah.
out, and then it's red, and you're like, all right, I guess that was that. But now
Yeah.
it'll like heal, and then you can go back in. So I like that a lot.
That is a good change, I think.
Yeah, the Reaper has no longer a special building attack. Gains passive health regeneration upgrades, allows it to recharge hit points quickly when out of combat.
I don't like how heavy-handed they are with mech units. Like the Warhound is a fast. It's not like fast. You're not going to harass the Warhound, but it's not a slow unit. So the mobility problems that mech has is going to be solved to a certain extent by these pretty long-range warhounds, and then tanks and Thors are still in there. And now Hellions are going to become a regular part of the composition. So I mean, one of the only ways you could kill mech in a pseudo straight-up fight was you would get charge lots in there, or Zerglings in on the mech stuff, or something fast-moving would get in on the tanks and incur friendly fire. But now, like, 3/4 of the composition of the mech army is fantastic against things that do just that. It's going to be really problematic that way.
What do you guys...
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Dan.
I have to agree with what you just said there. They're actually giving way too much to mech. Like, mech can be used right now, and it's coming back, actually, relatively strongly. We're seeing it more and more in TVT again. We're seeing it mixed in a reasonable amount in TVZ. TVP, it's popping up every now and then, but not too much. And to give it, like, a lot more power is silly. I actually have, like, a little theory that's been going on in my head, the way that we have so many tournaments and the way that the metagame actually develops, where basically you have so many tournaments that the changes in people's play are just so that they can continue to win right then. Whereas you look at Starcraft 1, and if you didn't qualify for OSL or something, you have 3 months until the next league that you are going to play. So people developed, like, more base skill as opposed to, okay, this next month we're just going to do 2 base all-ins against Zerg, you know, because that's how we can win right now and get more money. So anyways.
The other thing for Terran is now Hellion start in battle mode, which is like you get more additional HP. I don't know how much it was. And a stronger flame attack that covers a short forward-facing arc. You can still change it in to the mobile Hellion right out the gate, so it doesn't really change too much. That is pretty much... Oh, the other thing was the battlecruiser gaining the speed boost ability called Redline Reactor, which I think is just baseline, so you don't have to research it or anything. Do you guys have any thoughts about that, Greg? You've been
Wait, the BC's just faster?
No, it has an ability.
It's like a speed boost.
It has like
charge.
a sprint. It has charge or whatever.
It is charge.
It's going to be the Millennium Falcon in StarCraft. You're going to be like,
Does it, like...
battlecruiser army. It'll be like, we're going to light speed.
Like, how fast are we talking? Can you, like, freaking just, like, speed into someone's base and you can motto their CC and then speed away?
That's a lot of energy.
I think you only do one.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Should we move on to Zerg? You guys done?
How much does the combat drugs upgrade cost?
The what?
Combat drugs? Isn't that for Reaper? Like, isn't that an upgrade? Or do they just have it passively?
I think it's just...
In the battle report, I thought they were, like, upgrading it.
It might be. It doesn't say in the Team Liquid post that I'm reading, so...
Because if it's, like, you know, if it's actually expensive and stuff, and you need factory tech to get it, people probably still aren't going to use Reapers.
By the way, Dan, in Heart of the Swarm, with the mech versus Protos debate, you will win that one this time.
We'll have the great debate 2013 when it comes out, or 14, whenever it comes
Dan's
out.
going to be like, I was right, but I was off by 2 years.
Moving on to Zerg.
Wait, did we talk about the Battle Hellions? Because those are kind of silly.
I mentioned it and you didn't say anything.
Go for it, Greg.
Go for
we could always add more to it, because they are really silly.
The Muslim said he ran in, or he was playing a match and like 30 Zerglings ran into 5 Battle Hellions, and he didn't micro it at all, and not a single one of them died.
Didn't they take out like 20 zealots in that like demonstration video?
I didn't see the TVP, but yeah, they're absolutely ridiculous against melee light units.
They're good against zealots too.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, they just. I want to say they destroyed the zealots in that little like 2-minute clip of the new units. So.
You know what though? They took out the fucking Thrasher or whatever the shit it was called.
The what?
yeah.
Oh, is that the
good on them?
Yeah,
like
the
AoE
crazy
thing.
AoE thing.
Good on them.
Yeah.
Shredder.
Shredder, yeah.
All right, moving along to Zerg. Viper is still pretty much the same. I don't think anything's new on that. Has Consume, has Abduct, has the Blinding Cloud.
The consume changed. First it was going to be saps resources, now it saps HP from buildings.
Yeah, channeled ability that allows it to gain more energy back at the expense of damage to your own Zerg building. Okay. Swarm Host is out. Swarm Host is slow-moving ground unit, blah, blah, blah. Everyone knows that. Did it used to attack air in the old one? I thought it was just broodlings that it spawned.
I don't think so. No,
The Swarm Host?
It's always spawned.
No.
Okay.
But never
But the mine does hit air, by the way, just to regress this
Yeah.
for a second, in
Yeah.
case you guys didn't know that.
Yeah.
It hits air as well.
Just emphasize how silly it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it can also get cloaked units as well. I'll just emphasize that again,
Yep.
which is silly. There wasn't actually anything new for the Zerg. Now I think about the burrow
The
charge.
speed
still on
Hydra
Ultralist.
thing is insane.
The what?
Like the Hydra speed upgrade is actually.
Oh yeah,
insane.
that was a new
they're
thing.
like fucking Zerglings.
They were saying that that's like the biggest change they've made. It has the most
Yeah.
impact on gameplay, which is kind of cool.
It's actually like. Did you see the ZVP thing? It is actually
No.
insane. Like.
I think
like,
I only saw the ZVT, but they were using it again and pulling all the tanks in and stuff. It actually looked pretty
yeah, they were like actually it was sick. Like they're so fast now. Like on creep, they seriously almost look like they're like Zergling speed, just like running around like sniping bases and stuff. It was like actually insane. And yeah, I mean you can just like pull in tanks. You can pull in a lot of the counters with Viper and take them out because obviously Hydras are horrible against Colossus and tanks and everything. But if you just pull them in and one shot them, then it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah.
I hope they make the ability for them to make the sound like as they do that too. That would be the actual sound they should make. The Viper's pretty cool. It's a new spellcaster.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
Makes
to see how
makes
that
up for the
works.
swarm host or whatever that is, because that's a really dumb unit that I think is going to be stupid. And
Yeah,
not used.
I am in complete agreement with you, man. It has some. I don't know. I think it's just going to be stupid because like you walk up to a base and it just constantly spawns units. Is it what
There's
15
definitely
seconds?
Yeah, something like. There's a lot of situations where like Zerg can get way ahead, and then Terran and Protoss will just sit in turtle, and you have to go to Hive to finish them off. So it's like it's a way to put pressure on Terran and Protoss. Sometimes
Greg.
but I don't know.
I went into it thinking that was a pretty cool idea, and you're right, and I think we talked about this and I agreed. But then I made them. They're really fragile. They're very big. They're kind of slow. And they spawn units really, really slowly. So I'm trying to think of a situation where the Protoss just doesn't notice these kind of expensive, fat, slow-moving, weak units that are spawning relatively useless units outside their base, and they don't just walk over their Colossus and end its life.
You know what I did like though is when in the battle report they were trying to pair it up with speed hydras. So like when the wave came out, the hydras went up and attacked, so those could tank, and then it ran back. That's like a cool idea to go with.
Still gonna use my Colossus. Still gonna have my Colossus.
Oh,
There's little things you
but
can. with
then
it.
I pull your Colossus in, so you better have a bunch of
Feedback.
pencils in the background.
Now then we sprint forward with.
And then
our-
I just suck energy out of my hatchery, Jeff.
I just mass recall whatever you fucking grab, too.
Jesus.
That'd be funny.
And then I unburrow Ultralist and kill that Nexus.
Yeah.
Then we wait for them to bring back Burrowed Banelings and fucking kill everything.
Yeah.
Um,
I just
Oh
think
my
there's-
god.
How awesome would that be?
Right.
Jesus. We do need a Terran in here now. I guess that's it for the show. We need to do shout-outs still. Is there anything you guys want to hit on in terms of Heart of the Swarm? I feel like I mean, obviously we're not going to spend too much time theory crafting on all this shit because it's going to get changed regardless of what happens. Like, if any of that, if it stays the exact same way it is, then I don't know.
God save us all.
That's good. Yeah, it's going to be rather silly. So we won't spend really too much time on that. But any final thoughts, you guys, on Heart of the Swarm stuff?
I'm just excited to play. I can't wait. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It says in the official QA that the beta will be out in summer of 2012. So
Really?
Well, come on. Doesn't really mean anything when they say
Soon,
It will
TM.
be soon. Yeah.
no, it says that we expect it to start sometime this summer. It doesn't say soon or when it's ready. It
know.
says summer
Sometime in the
of
summer, TM.
2012.
It's a new one.
Just said
Summer-
TM to anything.
Summer
from Blizzard.
officially starts like in 2 days, right? Oh my god,
Yeah.
I think it's my brother's birthday.
I want to say this, like, going into the Heart of the Swarm units, I was really, really disappointed, very scared, and, you know, I was like, oh my god, they're going to have to change so much, I think it's really bad. But then when I sat down and played it, obviously there's still things that have to be changed, there's still a little bit of pessimism there, but I was much more happy with the changes in the units than I thought I would be, and I think at the end of the day, a lot of what they're moving towards, except for the Terran units thus far, is towards more spellcasters,
Yeah.
more multitasking, more speed.
Yep.
And that means that they're going to reward the top end of this game, which makes pro gamers have more of a way to separate themselves from more amateur or casual players. And I think that's getting closer to Brood War, and I really do appreciate that. I think that's a good direction to go.
Yep. All right, let's do shout-outs and wrap the show up. Dan, we'll start with you. We'll work backwards this time. So. shout-outs.
Whoa! I'm not ready for this. I need to hear all three of these guys say like 40 companies in a row before I go.
Oh wait.
was-
Oh no, we can actually just have them do one, and then the other two don't have to talk. Sick.
All right. Follow me on Twitter. Watch the GSL tonight. I'm doing GSTL with Wolf on Saturday. So if you like really analytical casts, tune into that. It's pretty fun.
If you like watching the same person, watch that.
Yeah.
Yep.
They say everything I like. Same manner. As
He's his own guy. Come on.
Yeah.
Does he ever forget that he's not you? Is that ever like...
Sometimes he wakes up in my bed and he's like, "Oh my god!" And then I look over, I'm like, "Oh my god!" Yeah, check that out. And I'm going to cast WCS in Great Britain, in London. So go check that out. Me and Nick will be there on the 30th and 1st, 30th of June, 1st of July, that weekend. So check that out. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Damn, the chat just crashes, Handsome Nerd. I don't even have to say it. They just spam the link and it crashes. I didn't,
Is that a good thing though, Dan? I
don't even know if that's a good thing. Yeah.
No, it's not a good thing. It's like why would you just crash the site?
Oh.
All right. Anyways, that's all I have to say.
All right, who should do? Should we let Isaac since he's
Greg
kind
is
of
really good at yeah.
Isaac's never done it before. Should we let Isaac do?
Let's test Isaac.
All right,
Greg,
Isaac, don't fuck
I've
it
never
up.
done shout out to sponsors. I've been on G for 5 years.
They're on your shirt.
Well,
Yeah.
you should not talk yourself up before doing it.
Yeah.
Greg and
All
I are
right,
really
well,
good at
shout out to Intel, Extreme Boards, Steel Series, Monster Energy, Kingston HyperX, Beyond Gaming,
Oh,
Sapphire.
he's rating off the monitor.
Hang on, don't interrupt. We're gonna judge this. Greg and I will judge this.
Come on.
Six Bullet Gaming, Slappa, Gunner, Split Reason. Boom.
Okay, ready? Can I go first, Greg? Greg, can I go
Yeah.
first?
Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, you named Steel Series ahead of Monster. Monster is our second premier sponsor. Steel Series is number 3. You also listed Six Pool and Gunner, and if you were up to date with EG, you would know that they are currently not actually
that's
contracted with us. Oh.
Oh, you of all
Well-
people should know Gunner.
You fool.
And now this is where he's out of the show, guys.
Now, Isaac, to give you an idea of what a good shout-out looks like, Greg, you go ahead now.
I'd like to thank Team Evil Geniuses for all our great sponsors: Intel, Steel Series, Monster, Kingston HyperX,
Not Steel
Gaming,
Series!
Sapphire.
He did the same thing!
He's reading it from a card. They both are.
Fuck, Greg.
He's focusing over on the
exact
side of
same
the
shout
screen.
out. It was the exact.
I didn't say Six Pool and Gunner because they're actually not on contract.
Oh, whatever. I don't care. You did the wrong order too.
I always say Steel Series second, like always. Am I not supposed to do that?
Oh, according to Jeff here, no.
It's Monster, then Steel Series.
Oh, God.
Intel, Monster, Steel. I always do Steel
Now
Series.
Jeff's typing it out
Yeah,
in
so do I.
chat. That's right. Jeff, what are you
All right,
typing?
third time's the charm. Jeff, you going for it?
Okay, you guys ready for this?
Yeah. All right. Wait,
Greg,
actually,
I
give me a
do
second.
like
Give me a
the
second.
flair
to prepare.
you added at the top of it, though. I do like that you added, I'd like to thank our great sponsors, because that part is true, and Isaac...
It's the passion. That's what I bring to it, really.
That is it.
Christ.
I would
Passionate
like-
Greg.
Our wonderful, great sponsors, Intel, Monster, Steel Series, Kingston HyperX, Sapphire, and Beyond Gaming, as well as the other companies.
You said Steel Series before Monster.
I did not.
He did.
Did he?
He did.
Yeah,
No,
he did.
Yeah, he did.
I can't believe after all that.
Are you serious?
Well,
Brainwashed me. Okay, well, please allow me to start over.
Watch him do
No,
it again.
Actually, I don't even know if he did. I just was going to do that to him no matter
I
what.
would like to thank our wonderful sponsors, Intel, Monster, Steel Series, Kingston,
sickest troll.
HyperX, Sapphire. Wait, I didn't fuck it up, did I?
The dog is
That
just
dog
pleased.
makes up for it.
The
Jesus
dog
Christ,
is
that
so
dog.
bored of
Hang on.
these sponsor shout-outs.
Hang on. Follow us on Twitter. He's IdrA. You can see his name right there. He is E.G. Azael. That's A-Z-A-E-L.
Yeah.
He picked it out of a fucking random generator for names.
Come on,
Cares
man.
a
It was
lot.
in the WoW random
Oh man, that's a
generator.
Diablo character, dude.
I'm E.G. in control, and in 1 week's time, I will be returning from Sweden, so do check out a couple of the shows I'll be doing here, but then also,
And you're going to break your dog's legs.
Isaac and I will be casting WCS.
When is that
which
going
we're
down?
Or not WCS, god damn it, it's
Jeff,
MCS.
Jeff,
I think
you're blowing it here,
This
man.
is
The EG
such
Masters
a
Cup series.
terrible,
Masters Cup,
terrible
man.
section of
I've
the
been awake
show.
for Dan, I've been awake for like 2 days straight.
Yeah,
man.
it is
I've been awake
5:30
for like
a.m. right
4
now.
days, Jeff. I watched. It was bad.
It was crazy.
Holy your dog's so cute.
It's 5:30 a.m. here. And then in the near future, EG is actually going to live outside the lair as we travel the world. Because I don't know if you knew this, Greg and myself, but like actually, like the last half of September into August it's every weekend. There's something going on every fucking weekend
There
for
you
like
go.
8 weeks. It's crazy. And you know what? Shout out to MLG. Big thanks to them because we spent a lot of our time here talking about things they did wrong. But like I said, Adam tweeting, looking into things to change and do better is really fucking cool, and I appreciate that. I think that's awesome.
I'd like to reiterate that because like they came out with that statement yesterday, and everyone got really pissed off at them about it, including myself. I tweeted about it, and then within a day they changed it around. You know, they fixed the problem. They even if you make mistakes, that's fine. Everyone makes mistakes, but then to take the community feedback and fix them, that's all you really need to do to keep everyone happy.
Yeah, that's
So,
good stuff.
Props to them for that.
Good job reading the chat,
If
guys.
I've requested your shout out, by the way.
I did not read the chat.
What?
JP,
No, I don't
you're-
mean that chat. I mean the chat where I told you to say that about MLG, Greg.
I didn't see you say that either.
In your shout out,
Just
I want you
It
to give
didn't. It was a joke. It didn't work.
It didn't work,
Let's
guys.
let it die.
Let's just
a
go.
spiel on Avilo, please. A little spiel on Avilo.
A little spiel on Azael. Well,
Give him some credit. He's been giving us Terran advice in the stream chat this whole time.
he has indeed. Spiel on Avelo is, I asked in chat, hey, should we invite Avelo on? And a bunch of people said no. So that's why he's not on. That's a spiel on Avelo.
Thanks for
Wow.
that, JP.
Called you out, Greg.
Thanks, JP.
Down.
Who called me on?
Oh my god. What happened? This show was going well, I thought, and here we are, still trying to talk about all the EG sponsors. Like,
Yeah.
what are your shoutouts, JP? What are your shoutouts? What are you doing?
We're doing a real talk with you pretty soon. I don't know.
Oh, sick. What are we going to talk about?
That's a good announcement.
Your life. Your,
Excellent. I can't wait.
doing one with Total Biscuit as well. Who else? Still haven't talked to Nick yet.
Oh, yeah, you got to do Tasteless, man.
I know. He won't dude, he's never on Skype, man. We gotta talk to that guy. He's got unless he just blocked me because he didn't want real talk.
Someone needs to get better Wi-Fi at the bar.
What?
Think about it for a second, Jay.
Oh, God.
You're at a bar right
Dan stone facing.
See you guys next time. That's how we're gonna end the show.
Gotta say is it's an honor
Starcraft
to play
inside.
you Teeler,
Hi.
and let's give the audience the show of a lifetime.
Hi, Greg.
Dan, he's not here. Or he's mad.